Fulham, Chelsea. Who just got promoted into the Premier League? I just said promoted weird. You might find out. And I don't know about that with Jim Jefferies. It was Fulham.
Yeah, you might find out online too.
Yeah, also, this is a week later. Everyone already knows. But
Okay.
I just found out Fulham's back up into the Premier League, ladies and
We're
gentlemen.
close to 100 episodes in, and your timing on the intro has gotten progressively worse and worse.
You're talking to, you're acting like a professional sort of fella.
That's impressive.
I'm getting older and weirder. I can't do
Okay.
things like that. Yeah, Fulham just got promoted.
How are the shows in Canada?
Oh, God. Edmonton,
Oh,
the
man.
one show crushed, and the other show was like, what?
What about Calgary?
And then Calgary,
Yeah.
they were both really good. And you know what they liked about Calgary? I kept on bringing up the movie Cool Runnings and Eddie the Eagle. They fucking loved that shit.
Yeah.
No, we're about to go off tomorrow. We get on a plane to go to Edmonton and Calgary, and
No, but
we'll
this
do
will
some
come out
shows.
next
This
week,
is
yeah.
already out. I hope you people enjoy you people, you Canadians, you people. So we're going to go out and do those shows now. They're all sold out pretty much. So looking forward to
You've
doing
already
the
done 'em.
gigs.
Yep.
I've already done them, but
Yep.
but I can still say, what have I got coming up, Jack? I got Detroit. I got Cleveland.
Cleveland, May 6th. Then May 7th and 8th, Detroit.
Detroit, 2 shows in Detroit. What?
And then May 20th, do you know? The
Oh,
Wire.
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore, May 20th.
Yeah,
he
And then
knew
May
that.
21st, Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh,
You're huge
yeah.
fan.
I love the people at Greenville.
Yeah.
It's good. They
Massive.
always come out to see me.
Um,
Have I ever been?
It's near Charlotte. Like Charlotte's here and Greenville's like I think you'd probably
Is
drive
it the
from-
type of place where there's some statues that should be taken down?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
100%,
Okay, good,
yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good, good. Yeah, I know that.
But you're at the Peace Concert Hall, so nice place.
We've just announced a whole lot of new tour dates. Go to jimjeffries.com. We're doing a lot of fun gigs, but most exciting, Hawaii.
When's that?
August.
August 5th and 6th.
I'm taking the whole family. We're going out there.
August 5th, Maui. August 6th,
Which family?
Honolulu.
Like this family?
I'm
'Cause
taking.
you could take this
I'm
family.
I'm taking my wife. I'm taking my ex. I'm taking my 2 kids. I'm
Mhm.
taking my eldest son, Forrest,
I'm older than you. It's
and
weird.
my youngest son, Amos.
I don't think Amos is going.
Oh,
I
then I'll-
think it's JJ.
and then my youngest son, JJ,
Yeah.
who I think is older than Forrest, but still feels like a very young man.
I can't tell if any of these people are actually kids.
Oh, we should tell.
Well,
Introduce.
we're okay. August 5th and 6th is Maui. August 6th is Honolulu. And for me, May 19th, I'll be in Sacramento at the Starlit Room Harlow's. If you live in the Sacramento area, just come at the Starlit Room Harlow's. I don't know what that is. And then follow our podcast, ID Cat Podcast on Instagram. I think that's enough.
And
promoting it.
subscribe to Patreon,
yeah.
patreon.com/IDCat. And merch is up on idon'tknowaboutthat.com.
We got mugs, we got hats, we got tops, we got it all.
And there are a lot of people. The day we launched the merch, there was a glitch with the international shipping. So if you tried it and you couldn't order anything, then try again because we are shipping everywhere.
Not everywhere.
Glitch fixed.
There's
Everywhere.
some small countries we wouldn't be shipping to, surely. We still shipping to the Ukraine. If the Ukraine wants to buy a cunt
If
mug.
they want to buy a cunt
How do you
mug,
think they're healing?
yeah.
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 Comment.
Not North
What do you
Korea.
mean healing?
Laughter is the
What do
best
you mean-
medicine,
What do you mean
Jim.
healing? Someone's still stabbing him.
I know, but if you, have
this
an,
wound over here is feeling very good.
if you have an I don't know about that trucker hat on, it feels better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You wear an I don't know about that hat. And when they're coming up in the tanks, they'll go, good
Like, you want
protest.
to die? I don't know about
There
that.
you go.
Nothing
Yes.
makes the ambiance of rebel and fire better than a trucker hat.
So, Kelly, introduce our
Yeah,
guest.
Forrest is
Forrest,
going to
Yeah.
introduce him.
Well, we can. Yeah. Let's introduce our guest today, Cody Candelario.
Welcome. Cody's our second in-house. You know who our first in-house person was?
No, we've had 3 now.
Who was the other one? We had Jay Leno was one of
we
them.
had another one.
Here.
No, in
Did he
the
sit in the
improv.
seat?
No, Jay Leno was
Oh!
a different. We've been in so many different locations.
Nick Vial.
We had the
We had
Bachelor.
Nick.
Dave Williamson was here.
the
He
girl
made
from
us
the-
barbecue.
Who was the name of the girl from the cult thing? She was very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Issa.
People from cults generally are, though, aren't they? It's kind of part of the
she's a
rubric.
cult
Talks
expert.
about
Not-
cult. She's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
in a cult.
Well, we're all
Those, I
women.
mean, you know what they say, those who can't teach or those who can't do, you know?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Anybody who does those comedy courses, they're always some weak ass
Oh,
comedians
yeah.
who teach comedy. It's always like, this is how you write a joke.
They're probably
Hey,
the most harsh critics,
Yeah,
too.
It's
just-
a punchline.
Just get drunk and mumble a bit. So now it's time to play, but Jack's gone. What the fuck have you done, Jake?
What's happening, Jack?
He went all the way around to go sit
Yeah,
No, we haven't
quietly.
done it yet. Go,
judging it by
over
what it's
there. Go
covering.
over there. I haven't found out what Cody does yet.
Yeah, come on, mate.
Yes, though. Yes, though. Yes, though. Yes, though. Judging a book by its cover.
Okay, so I'm looking at Cody right
I
now.
thought when he walked in, I thought you recognized him.
No, I am. I got to play the game. It's part of the podcast. Don't ruin magic.
Oh,
I'm looking at Cody right now. Cody's going to talk about Hell's Kitchen or being a chef or both. Is it Hell's Kitchen?
cults. You got it wrong again. Yeah, we're doing another cults episode.
Is it Hell's Kitchen?
Come.
It's
vasectomies. Yeah.
We're gonna talk-
I'm about to get one.
We're going to
It's
talk about
almost
culinary
surgeonizer.
basics today, like cooking, cooking basics.
Cooking.
Yeah,
Cooking.
cooking basics.
Chefing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Chefing.
I was once on Hell's Kitchen. You don't know that about me, do you?
No, I don't.
I
I
was-
was just talking to someone about trying to get you on the show as a guest. You've been on the show.
I was very, very quick, very briefly. I was on, my son was just a baby. So it's 9 years ago. I was on an episode just as a diner. And they
Oh.
cut to me. It was family day. And they were making pizza for the kids. And I had the beef Wellington, of course, that everyone has. And
Did you like it?
It was good. I'm a big beef Wellington guy.
It's kind of, Gordon does it just, it's not like it's a mind blowing, but it's just perfect. Like
Yeah, it's lovely.
it's
He does it with the Parma ham and the mushrooms and all that. Is that the one? Because
Yes,
I've cooked
and
it
the
at home.
anger.
Yeah,
Well, real
yeah.
quick, for people that don't know who Cody is, Cody Candelario is a chef. He has been on Hell's Kitchen and the Food Network's Cutthroat Kitchen, which you were a winner of, right?
mhm. Youngest
Uh,
person to win.
You can find him on Instagram at Created by Cody and on YouTube at the same channel, Created by Cody, and his cooking series, The Tasteless Chef, is on YouTube. And if you want to talk a little bit more about your cooking series or how you got into chefing or being a cook, you can do that right now. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
absolutely.
Got it loose.
Yes, I grew up in the restaurant industry. It's been a focus of mine for the last little bit to kind of do everything outside of just the normal rubric of cooking. So yes, I grew up as a chef. It's something that I still do, but I'm working on a few projects. Try to do media company. There's a lot of stuff that I see in cooking shows and stuff that is great, but I want to bring some honesty to it. So yeah, that's what I do.
Okay.
That's
Cutthroat Kitchen, right? Is that the one where they make you go, okay, now you got to make things. You've got a steak, stale Fruit Loops, an otter's dick, and icy pop. Is that the one?
That's so that's chopped. The
Chopped.
No,
That's
Cutthroat
the other
Kitchen's
one.
even harder. It's even harder. So it's the same basket kind of challenges, but everyone starts off with 25 grand and there's sabotages that are auctioned off. So like, for example, at one point,
Oh, this one. You have to
Uh-huh.
make your meal with a hammer.
so
I've seen it.
yeah, I for my second round, someone paid to have all of my utensils, my knives, everything removed. So the only thing I could use was these giant 6-foot chopsticks.
Right. They're called pool cues.
No, like they came in the bag and everything. Like they made them like the exact replica.
That's
and
amazing.
Oh,
they
for
were-
giant Asian people. For that guy who used to be the center for the Houston Rockets.
Yeah, man.
no.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, his chopsticks. You should see his drawers. It's filled with them.
Jack was on a cooking show recently. Last
Where
year?
is Jack? Keeps disappearing.
I'm over
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jack was on one where he hung out with 3 blokes and they took his refrigerator. And
Yeah, it
then
was called Save the Leftovers.
Yeah. And it was not even because there was one guy and I was like, Jack and 2 friends, and I don't think you knew each other because
No, it was 3 of us, and we had to pretend we were in a frat together. And one of them was like 30 and did not go to our school. I
Yeah.
had never met him.
Have you been
yeah,
in
there
a
was
frat
one that
before?
there was one that was really good looking, and I was like, how does Jack not even get this guy's scraps? Jack should get some pussy by default, just hanging out with this guy.
Some like trickle down banging.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Nothing, and I'm like, Jack,
Not
just
a
keep,
lick, eh?
just keep hanging out with that fella.
Because there was one night I was out with him and his girlfriend, and his girlfriend.
Oh,
comes up
he's
to
the
me.
one you knew.
I know him now.
Oh, right.
So
okay.
his girlfriend's like, "I'll hook you up with anyone here. Just point at them, and I'll set you up." I go, "What about her?" She goes,
Yeah,
I can't
literally,
do
those
that.
are the people you never trust. And you're like, oh, I can get you anyone here. What about that one? No, it's a little bit lower, lower, colder.
But you know when you got that friend who's got like some creepy game? I've got a friend who just seems to pick
Yeah.
up and I'll just walk up to the table of women and talk to them, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have a friend like that.
Yeah, insanity.
So you cook a little bit. Jen.
I like forest game. It's just like this. Rub my feet, and then they do.
Yeah, if you look at me, you don't know what's that. You're like, he has no game, and then I don't know what I'm doing.
You're kind of just like mean to people, and
His
girls
feet,
like that.
His feet have some pheromones or some shit. They really.
What's up with these feet? What do you mean?
I don't know why you're just. I mean, I do get a foot massage from one, but
He likes foot massages from.
Yeah, who doesn't
foot?
like foot massage?
Oh no, I'm not saying. Look, I'm saying you get a lot of
Amputees,
pussy.
probably.
Huh?
I'm
Amputees.
complimenting you.
He's like, why are you getting mad? I'm saying.
Yeah, why?
You get
why-
laid a lot.
Why are you telling people that women like me?
No. I meant like why you're concentrating my feet. I feel like I have pheromones coming off my whole body.
No, it's something you.
I've heard it specifically the feet.
I've never met
yeah.
a man who's just like, and you gave me a foot massage while I masturbated and ate a sandwich, and then I fell asleep.
What kind of sandwich? Wait, hold on.
Those are the days.
Just like ham scraps all over
Those
his
are the
chest.
days: Wednesday, Saturday, Monday.
I think it's just so dependent on what kind of sandwich too. Because if you're talking like a meatball bomber, you're falling asleep to a mess.
Okay, she'll
Do
clean
you
it up.
do you remember?
I mean, I'll go for any sandwich is good for me. I've had 2 sandwiches already today.
I'll tell you.
2 sandwiches in 20 minutes.
You wouldn't be able to tell by looking at my body.
We'll start the show in a second. But I want to talk quickly about Hell's Kitchen. When I was there, it's just a bit of theater, right? You sit there and they come around to you, and you got to go like this. Have you been waiting for your food a bit long? Is your food taking a while?
Oh yeah.
And you're like this. No, it's a reasonable amount of time for food. I think you just sat down 5 minutes ago.
Say you're mad.
Yeah, like this. And then you seem to see the cameras are staying on other people. You're like this. I'm starving. Oh, God, I'm hungry. And then you go, oh, bit of screen time. And then like Gordon yells at him and you're all meant to go like, oh, what have they done wrong in there? And you're all rubbing your hands together going, oh, bit of fun. Gordon's calling them all donkeys. Have you watched the show? You know, I'm sure you watched your episodes back. Have you watched it back in Britain or Australia?
No, I just heard. So literally last week, someone was telling me that there's a dubbed version in Spanish where my voice is fucking hilarious.
Oh no,
so I'm like,
they don't
can't.
they don't bleep in Britain and Australia. It's because I
They
always
also show nudity in British and Australia. There's some. If you watch apparently the New Zealand or Australian one.
that bit where Gordon started sucking the dicks.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
my favorite one.
What nudity? What nudity?
On Hell's Kitchen, in my season in particular, there's a scene where I get up and I'm partially naked, and there's a scene where my significant other, whom I met on the show, had her breasts come out, her titties come out.
You met your girl on the show.
Yeah, I met my girl on the show.
Well, which one was she?
The purple-haired one, the one that got second place.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, she beat me.
We were rooting for you in this house, by the way.
A house full of assholes. That makes a lot of sense.
No. It's just
I
him
don't
and the
live in this house.
good-looking
Yeah.
guy. Now Jack was so hurt by called assholes. He's like this. Oh, shouldn't have
so
rooted
sorry.
for you.
The other 2 aren't here.
You seem nice.
He's-
Thank you. I thought I was going to win too, but that's kind of my mindset.
Good. You
with
have to
stuff.
have that mindset.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I've
thought-
actually been on both sides. I've been recently as a diner, as a guest, and then I've obviously been on the show. And not disappointed, but when they lift the veil and you get to see how they kind of like describe stuff from that perspective, I caught myself being like, they're like, I was like, man, I am kind of hungry. And then they just swoop out of nowhere with all the, what'd you just say? Just say it under the camera real quick. And I'm like, no, I know. And I'm not complaining by any means. I'm like, no, just say it. Just say it. It's not fabricated.
I'd like to be on the chef's table though, because that's the nice one where you get to sit in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You can smell the tears.
But here's the thing: we all know it's well documented that if you watch the golf special, I've become friends with Lisa Vanderpump,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
And the pump, as I call her, right? Lisa's good friends with Ramsey, and I reckon I've got a meal at Villa Rosa with Ramsey in the. I reckon that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I was invited for a meal by Lisa, but I don't know.
But you're not Gordon Ramsay. I've had meals with you before.
I know, but I just want to go there and all right.
He's really fun to go out to dinner with too. He's not normal.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break for ads, and then we'll be right back.
We're all trying to eat better, but healthy breakfast doesn't mean you have to be boring. Magic Spoon. We love the Magic Spoon in my house. Magic Spoon, the amazing flavors you love without all the bad stuff. Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 grams of net grams of carbs in each servings. And it's only 140 calories per serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. The variety pack has 4 flavors: Coca, Frosty, fruity, and peanut butter. Life hack. Mix the cocoa with the peanut butter and it tastes exactly like a peanut butter cup.
Did you make that up?
No, it's written here.
Okay.
I wrote it.
It tastes exactly like regular cereal from your childhood, but it's super nutritious. It's delicious, but super healthy cereal that really brings joy to you in the mornings and the afternoons and 3 o'clock in the morning and or whenever you want to eat it. My son loves the stuff. I thought because, my son's always like, you go, try this. It tastes the same. And then he can always tell. Doesn't taste the same, but he does. He's Magic Spoon boy. Go to Magic Spoon.
He's a magic spoon.
Old ankles.
Go to magicspoon.com/IDK to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code IDK at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed by 100% happiness guaranteed. So if you don't like it for any reason, you're like, oh, this box doesn't look good to me, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your new delicious bowl of gluten-free cereal at magicspoon.com/IDK and use the code IDK and save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
All right. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you some questions about culinary basics or cooking in general. You're going to answer them to the best of your ability, and then Cody's going to grade you.
One of these questions better not be Julianne because I fucking know, man.
It's not. It's not one of
It's
the
in
questions.
part.
Slice them
part.
thinly. Slice them thinly.
Okay.
What millimeter? Let's go.
I'm not a nerd, Cody.
So Cody, you're going to grade him on his accuracy, 0 through 10. 10's the best. You're going to grade him on confidence. Kelly, I'm going to grade him, etc. 21 through 30, Gordon Ramsay. Means you're really good. 11 through 20, the LA Ramsay. The Super Bowl champs. 0 through 10, John Benet Ramsey.
Oh, so we'll never know what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
Hope you can swim.
Yeah.
Always want to throw a
Maybe
dead
if
kid on the show.
Maybe if she yelled out your plonker loudly, none of it would have happened.
Do you cook? You cook, right?
I cook at home. I cook okay.
What ingredients go into a mirepoix?
What?
2 words, mirepoix.
Oh, mirepoix.
What ingredients go into a
Thank you,
mirepoix?
Cody.
Mirepoix.
And if-
Mirepoix, I'm going to say, is a French thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No points for
And-
that.
Take us on a trip. Take us on a trip. Let's go.
This is how you find things out. You got to
Yeah,
rattle
yeah, yeah.
around in that
No,
cage.
I'm here for the journey. Let's do this.
You want me to use it in a sentence?
I'm also
Yeah.
available for hints too.
in
I
the
don't know if we can
kitchen.
do that.
I made
No,
a
no
mirepoix.
hints.
Oh, that'll work. I ate a whole bowl of mirepoix.
You could.
What do you
Sounds
got? What do you
fucking
got?
tedious.
I've just shit myself. Too much mirepoix.
Probably.
Mirepoix, I imagine, would be a type of sauce, and I believe it would involve butter mixed with chives.
No, it's
No, you tell me the end.
it's the musician that Napoleon
Jamiroquai?
Dynamite
It's
danced
actually
to,
named after.
Jamiroquai.
It's named after
couldn't remember
the famous
Jamiroquai.
skater.
Jamiroquai.
What does it mean to blanch?
Oh, to blanch is when you put things in you put them in cold water so that they do something.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Which of these is not one of the 5 classic mother sauces?
Okay.
Hollandaise,
Uh,
tomato sauce,
mm,
bolognese,
uh.
bechamel.
Well, there's not 5. You didn't do 5.
No, one of these is not in the 5.
There's technically 8.
Of the mother sauce. So
Yeah,
we
you
got
already got it wrong.
Which one of these is not a classic mother sauce?
Yeah.
How about that?
So hollandaise, tomatoes. Is it tomato sauce or tomato ketchup?
Tomato sauce.
Because in Australia we call ketchup tomato sauce.
I know, but you guys are
You're talking like
ridiculous.
marinara sauce. You're talking
Yes.
marinara
Yeah,
sauce.
yeah.
Nope, just tomato sauce. Use the words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tomato.
Bolognese.
You say
Bechamel.
tomato. I'm gonna say tomato sauce.
Okay. What are the 2 main ingredients in a custard?
Eggs and turds.
Final answer.
It's
Final
kind
answers.
It's cum. Yeah.
I've eaten custard
Custard.
before.
I thought you were.
No, it's eggs and cream.
Okay. What oil has the highest smoke point?
Oh, that would be. I'm trying to think of what
Snoop
peanut
Dogg.
oil really smokes a lot. Whenever I use sesame seed or peanut oil, so sesame seed or peanut, I'm going to go peanut oil.
How long should soft-boiled eggs be cooked for?
Oh God, fuck me.
How do you feel like you're doing right now,
Not
by the
good,
way?
not good,
You're
not
on a
good.
scale from 1 to 10. What do you think you're doing?
0. I haven't got one right.
All right, cool. All right.
Okay.
You got eggs and custard, I think. Yeah.
He's,
Yeah.
going, he's adjacent.
Yeah, I would say a soft-boiled egg would take 6 minutes.
Okay. What does brunoise mean? I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, you
Okay.
got it. Ding.
Brunoise.
Brunoise. BRUNOISE.
Also French.
I'll
Yeah,
use it
I
again.
know it's French.
I'll use it again in a sentence. In the kitchen, we had a brunoise.
You're such a.
I'll use it in a sentence. What does brunoise mean?
Brunoise would be a sauce that uses alcohol to be burnt down.
What makes broth different than stock?
So they cooked off the bones and that type of stuff, and then a stock is I don't know.
Okay.
I think they're the
You're
same thing,
so
man.
close.
Here's
This is like the Bitcoin episode all
corn-
over again.
cornstarch mixed with water is called what?
Cornstarch.
It's like, is that the first time you've heard the word cornstarch?
What's cornstarch?
You don't know what cornstarch is?
What's cornstarch?
Okay, moving on. How can you tell a steak is done without a thermometer?
You look at it. You can use,
Yeah.
if you're a good chef, you can look at it, and you can do the bits where you feel it with like the hand, medium rare, all that type
What
of
with a
stuff.
hand?
Eh?
What do you mean?
Well, this bit, there's that bit means well done. That
If
bit
it
means
feels like that.
medium rare.
If it
yeah,
feels like
yeah,
that when you touch it?
yeah.
Okay.
Through touch.
What is a sous chef?
A sous chef is an under chef. So you got your head chef, and then the sous chef is the next chef under.
What causes a souffle to rise?
Time and patience, man.
What is mise en place? I think. Is that, how do I say it?
mise
Cody?
en
You said it
place?
right yesterday.
Yeah, mise en
mise en
place.
place.
Mise en place.
Mise en place.
He was one of the terrorists in 9/11.
No, he's a famous skateboarder.
What is a roux?
Oh, a roux is like, it's like flour
Oh,
and like a little thing. It's the base of a sauce.
okay.
Flour and a little thing.
What
Yeah.
is the and
What's
again,
the little thing? Come on, we can
Water
get there.
or oil or something. Something
what is
egg.
the Maillard reaction?
Maillard.
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 You can't pronounce any of this.
You're all good.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is biology class.
You got it yesterday too.
I know.
Maillard reaction.
Yeah. Maillard.
Probably the same as your odd reaction.
Hey.
Okay. I
My milkshake brings all the boys
I-
to my yard.
And
forgot.
they're like,
I forgot barding. What does barding refer to? Barding refers to what?
When you braid the hair on the animal before you cook it.
All right. Well, let's just let's.
What did he say for the Maillard reaction?
I make the best meatballs you've ever had. That's all you need to know.
I don't know what's in
challenge
them.
accepted.
What was the answer for the Maillard reaction? Did he give one?
He didn't give one.
I think it was Yord.
It was question
Same as
marks.
your
Oh
odd.
yeah,
Yard.
right.
I didn't know it was going to be a fucking French class. I thought we'd
I
have
can't even
like.
pronounce them, so you know.
I'd be like, how do you scramble an egg? You get a fork in there, you whip it around a bit. Like, I thought it'd be things like that.
This is like cooking.
What's a frying pan? You know, things like
And
that.
what would your answer be?
Oh,
A pan that you
it's-
fry
Yeah,
with.
yeah. It's
can't
got a
use the-
handle on it. Always got a handle.
Oh,
Gotta
he's
have a
gonna-
hand.
You got to have a handle on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What's a spatula?
Oh, a spatula. That's the thing that you get underneath and you flip eggs with it and stuff like that. It's all handle, the spatula. When it's not, and then when it's not, it's a flat surface.
So many
at
of
the
his
end.
definitions just use hand movements
Yeah.
to fill in the
That wasn't
blanks.
in there. I
It's
just-
the thing that you did this with the thing.
I just threw it in there for you.
I know what it is, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't,
Let's just start talking
don't
about
even
cooking.
don't even try me about spoons.
Where are the
How do you do, Cody? 0
What?
through
That
10.
can't be all the fucking questions.
We'll
You
ask
want
some
more?
All your
I got-
questions,
yeah,
all
Cody,
your
ask some-
questions were, what is a bouillabaisse? Oh, don't ask me what that is.
What's a bouillabaisse?
Don't ask me what spaghetti bolognese is because I'll never be able to answer.
What's in a lobster roll?
You don't know what's in a lobster roll?
I do.
What's in it?
Lobster.
What else?
Depends how you
Roll.
have it. I have a thin bit of mayonnaise inside mine. That's all I have. And then I put truff sauce on top for a little bit of tang.
truff mayonnaise or just the truff
No,
oil?
the truff mayonnaise, you just want the sauce. The truff mayonnaise is all right. But you'd rather have your own mayonnaise and then the truff sauce on top.
Yeah,
Cody,
they sent me all that stuff. Just
Throw a couple
recently.
more questions in there for him, Cody.
What country has the most French Michelin stars?
Yeah, see, a stupid person would say France.
Yes.
Like French restaurants?
Yeah. What in terms of French cuisine?
Oh, yeah.
What country has the most French restaurants with
Okay.
Michelin
Good
stars?
one.
I would say that would be the United States of America
USA.
or Britain.
I was gonna say
Yeah, any other fucking guesses in here?
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
Ooh, Hong Kong's very good.
Adjacent. Was
I didn't say it like that.
I've
that
been
the
to Hong
Hong
Kong.
That felt threatening.
Yeah,
I've been to Michelin star rated restaurants. in America.
Hong
Kong is very
All we did was Michelin star restaurants in Hong Kong. You can't fucking walk 5 feet without
Bow
bumping into.
Innovation. We went to Bow Innovation.
Oh, that was a good restaurant.
We went to an Italian one in Hong Kong. Yeah.
There, my youngs were
So what's-
fucking off the hook.
What's your guess? Most Michelin star rated French restaurants country.
United States of America.
That's your guess?
Yeah.
I'll stick
Japan.
with Japan?
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Well, if the Japanese aren't having the French.
You want to? Okay, here, let's keep it going.
Okay, ask a couple more.
Yeah, you mentioned one earlier that's like worth mentioning. What's ketchup made out of? The original ketchup?
The original ketchup. I actually watched this documentary.
Fuck you, damn it. Okay, no, that's,
What is it?
Do you want to
no,
quiz someone
it
else?
wasn't tomato. It was another flavored ketchup. It was like a green type of color. But ketchup was just like you could have different types of flavors. And it was only tomato ketchup that actually won out. And the reason it's got a 57 on there is not because they tried 57 times. It was just the guy Heinz's favorite number.
No, but that's 57. That's a different sauce.
Answer the question.
No,
Yeah,
What
it's
is the
57 's a different
original
sauce.
tomato
No,
sauce
that's
made
ketchup.
out of?
50. The 57 means nothing.
Yeah, but 57 is a sauce.
No, it's just ketchup. 57 is just slapped on there.
No.
Heinz.
It's possible
It's Heinz
57 sauce
All right.
came
Well,
later.
in hindsight,
Oh.
That's a good joke.
what?
Stay away from my
yeah, you can
job,
have that
Cody.
one.
All right, go on. So,
What was the original one? What was it made out of? What's the
corn.
guess? You said green. It was a color.
Corn.
Corn.
Yeah, corn
All right.
ketchup.
Corn chip.
Fuck. No. Anything basically that is red and is a fruit, if you cook it down to absolute excess, they all pretty much taste the same. So the first ketchup was made out of apples. So unless it's
Wow.
if it says, you'll notice if it's a tomato ketchup, it will say tomato ketchup. So the original was made of apples. But I'm
Good.
telling you, strawberries, anything like that, you cook them down past. Because if you think about it, like when you're chewing something like say parsley, that flavor is so fleeting. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with strawberries. It's so fleeting. So if you continue to chew it for 10 minutes, by the end of it, you wouldn't have an identifiable flavor. Same thing with cooking. If you cook it down, gets to a paste, it's just red in color.
Yeah, I have carrot ketchup at my house.
Yeah. Weird, but I believe that. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I
good?
bought it at a store.
Why
I
didn't you
tried
bring
it.
it?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know.
All right, so how did I do?
Yeah. How do you do on the questions, Cody? 10's the best, 0's the worst.
I would say that you got a failing grade, but you had the essence of it. I can tell that you knew structurally some similarities. So I don't know. What were the questions, top to bottom?
We'll go through them again.
Yeah, because you were close. You were definitely close to the point where I know
if
you
it's
pay
higher
attention.
than a
to
three,
it.
if it's higher than a 3, I'm going to question it.
I've
but-
done some cook.
I'd say
When,
3.
when I was at school,
Confidence
right,
fucking.
I did cooking classes because this was the thing. I could have joined one of the sporting teams, or I could pick where all the girls would be. Right, so I picked to do cooking because I thought all the girls would be there. But it just turned out that all the other dumbass guys had the same opinion, and it was just fucking.
You're like, it's weird because my dad always said that women should be in the kitchen, and they weren't fucking there.
yeah, there was none there. There was just 10 meatheads frying a fucking egg, man.
Yeah,
That's all there
no.
was. But I never joined sporting teams. I always did the school musicals, and all my friends used to call me a poof. Go, oh, you bloody fag, you bloody doing the musicals when you're bloody playing sport. And I'm going, I'm the gay one. I'm hanging out in a show with 10 women to every one man, and you're showering with men.
Yeah, that was my middle brother too. So musical theater all through college, and then he also cheerleaded a little. Like they wanted somebody
I'm
to.
not weird.
No,
Kelly.
they
I
just
didn't
wanted
bloody
like people to
cheerlead.
lift, like to do the lifts, and he was at University of Miami, so it's like a bunch of hot
If you're
girls.
a straight mare cheerleader, you gotta pull.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no way you
Yeah.
don't pull. But there's just like I just feel like they're just not in there for that. But
How do you do on confidence?
I don't think a
Kelly?
lot of women become stand-up comedians to meet men.
They do.
No,
without,
it's
whether
the
they want to or
trauma
not.
from men.
I would say, okay, I'll rephrase it. To meet good men.
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard the comedian's the worst. Yeah, no, I don't think I actually
You
lost.
gave
my
me a
train of thought.
3.
He gave you a 3. He gave you 3.
But a good 3.
A solid 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
a good 3. I'll give you a good 4.
Good.
That's
for-
7.
The confidence was there. Yeah.
I don't want to make you a dead child, so we'll add 5 to that. So you're a Super Bowl champ.
Oh, I want to.
Yay.
No, make me a dead child.
Okay, -3. John Van Der Ramsey.
Yay.
Yeah. Why did they write the letter? The letter was so long. That's the bit that throws me
I know
off
nothing
that
about it. Why did they enter in beauty contest? Why is her name John
That's,
Benet?
that's nothing to do with
Yeah.
it. The beauty contest just didn't help their cause.
John Benet? Weird name. Okay. What ingredients go into a mirepoix? Jim said French sauce would involve butter mixed with chives.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, there's some sort of fat that's incorporated, but the mirepoix is just like the basis of flavor building. So it's celery, carrot, onion. That's just like what you start everything
Oh, and you do
with.
the thing at the bottom of the pan.
No, so you meant deglazing.
I've done that.
You have bet you've done
I've
that.
done
There's
that.
the
I'm just not pretentious about it.
well, you didn't do the you didn't do the vocab sheet.
I just go, there's some carrots and some celery in a pan, love.
And onion.
Onion.
Oh, I
You-
mean-
and then I go, you do the rest.
Well, you knew the specifics of what a sous chef meant.
Yeah.
So what is it when there's like, because there was a lot of dishes that start with like onion, garlic, and
Green bell pepper.
No, it's like
Because there's the Holy Trinity, which is from the South.
Do you ever call them
what's that one?
capsicums? Do you find capsicum to be a weird word?
I lived in Europe, so yeah. I mean, I lived in Germany for 3 years, so yeah, capsicum
Yeah.
and all that weird
What's
stuff.
the Holy Trinity? Maybe that's what I'm
The
thinking.
Holy Trinity is from the South, so it's generally onion, celery, and green bell pepper. But garlic is also mixed in. It's just kind of a
And that's like another base that they. Yeah.
sure, yeah. It's one of those flavor building components. Mirepoix is a flavor building component. I would
Yeah.
say it's just kind of like the first Lego, the baseboard, the fucking concrete. You know what I
the
mean?
first Lego.
Yeah.
The base.
Have
plate.
we done an episode on Lego?
No, but you know a lot about Lego. At the beginning of this podcast, we had a section at the end. Remember? I think I do know about that. And it was a subject that I would think that I thought you did know about.
It was such a
And
fail.
you did Lego you did okay. Pinball you did okay. I think we did pigeons and you didn't know anything. I don't know why I thought you knew about pigeons. I think it's
We did a section of the Jim Jefferies show
it's like,
about pigeons.
Why would he know about that?
I don't
This
know.
is like the best, shittiest university ever.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, you're meant to listen to this podcast and learn a little bit.
Hey, people are learning. They know what a
Yeah.
mirepoix now is if they didn't know.
Hey.
Somebody wrote to us saying that they knew the final answer on Jeopardy last week because of the American Revolution episode.
Oh yeah, what was the final
The,
answer?
I don't
the
remember.
question was, is Jim an idiot about this?
Which Jim?
What does it mean?
What is yes?
What does it mean to blanch? He said you put things in cold water so they do something.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It was a strong
Close.
fucking 3.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just that you got step B.
Yeah, I watched things that go, and then I blanched it. It's to make the leaves and stuff fall off things and stuff.
What is it, Cody?
So you spoke about shocking. So that's the option B. So the first part of it is blanching is heating something up. You're
Right.
doing the cooling something down. The purpose of that for blanching, it's usually done with anything that is high in chlorophyll because basic chemistry, things move fast, their pores become bigger, things move slow, their pores become smaller, they contract. When they're
All right,
moving,
Einstein. Slow down.
when
All
they're
right, college boy.
take an asparagus. I've dropped out of a few colleges.
All right,
asparagus.
All right,
I
asparagus.
I know that.
High ticket items.
Okay, long, orange, with
Uh-huh.
green bits off the end. Okay, carry on.
Orange, we got to check your eyes. You put that into hot water. It creates that expansion. It just makes it easier to see through the asparagus, makes it more green, stuff like that. So yeah, you get a cooking portion of it, but there's also some sort of benefit in terms of color.
It's like when you add MSG to something. You ever cooked with MSG?
Fuck, I've been cooking for MSG for years. I mean, you've also been eating MSG for years.
But it's
outside-
illegal in
It's-
Australia.
It's also naturally present in so many things that are in Australia. Parmesan cheese, tomatoes, so anything that's aged, balsamic vinegar.
If I have too much of it, my jaw locks up after a Chinese meal. I go
Sure.
like this.
yeah, I bet you have too much salt. Your body's gonna be pretty pissed off. It's a modified salt version. You
Like
know,
that's
so-
MS Coke you're thinking of.
Yeah.
So you heat it up and then you cool it.
Yeah, that's it.
Blanching.
To the benefit
In the
of the benefit of getting it to the point where you need it to be cooked, accessing color, and then what he mentioned, shocking, completely stopping that process so it doesn't have time to overcook.
I was reading a recipe where you have to do that. It was so Din Tai Fung has the green beans that everyone likes with the garlic.
Very great.
Oh
And-
yeah.
Yeah, and they're super green. And I guess that's you have to blanch. I know it says in the recipe you heat it and then you throw it. But you gotta. It's a lot of like in and out in this.
It's my
recipe.
favorite kind of thing is the in and out one. Da-dun ching.
I don't know if that was a burger reference or sex.
I'm not a big in and out person.
Have you ever fucked an In-N-Out burger?
I have.
The
not
night-
on
I
purpose.
mean-
How would I?
I tell you, it'd be all right.
Carefully.
Though. What do you mean? What do you mean? How would you? With great pleasure.
Okay, maybe a hot dog on a stick, but not in and out.
We can fuck the burger.
Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
could still fuck the burger. I don't know what role
Yeah.
you play during sex.
Am I
You
gonna
could have all-
scissor the burger?
Protein style. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Animal style.
Protein style, yeah.
Hey,
Which of these is not one of the classic mother sauces? We said hollandaise, tomato sauce, bolognese, bechamel. You said tomato sauce.
Yeah.
I know, but you said don't ask me about a bolognese. So you've made a bolognese before.
I know about bolognese. Yeah.
That can't be a mother
he was
sauce,
So
right?
not a mother sauce.
Yeah.
I was caging.
What's a mother
What is a mother
sauce?
sauce?
Yeah.
It's kind of started a bit of a debacle
Big
now.
fat sauce that slaps you around when you
Yeah.
answer it.
The Gunta sauce. Yeah.
Hey, I can say it.
That's Jim's N-word.
Good to know. Look at that tattooed on my neck. Originally, when cooking was starting to become standardized, back when the French were creating the brigade system, they identified the sauces that made up the majority of what cooking was. So it's kind of like the root systems of what makes the rest of the sauces. But since it's been identified, there's actually a bunch more. So it's like there's 8 now.
Okay.
Tomato is not. I mean, tomato is technically one of them, but
Gotta put
yeah.
it there.
I mean, you said there was one.
I said not one.
I'll tell
I said
you,
not one of them.
I'll tell you
Well,
some other. Yeah, it's not one. You said
Okay.
tomato's not one.
Bolognese, though, we had this conversation the other day about how like you don't get bolognese at a fancy restaurant, but you
Jack
get it.
orders it in restaurants.
You can get it at a fancy
You
restaurant
can,
for sure.
but,
Of course.
but
But it's like such a
yeah,
comfort.
when
kind
you
of,
make it at
right?
home, you make your exact flavor. I believe I make the best bolognese because it tastes exactly how I want it. And then you go to a restaurant and it's someone's a bit waterier, or I put my secret ingredient. I go a bit of Worcestershire. Make a bit of Worcestershire. in there. That's
Worcestershire.
That's got to be a base sauce if ever I've fucking seen one.
It could totally get added to something like that. Yeah, I mean, it'll continue to evolve. It's kind of like hip hop in the 90s where it was just like Wu-Tang and a couple people. And now it's like,
I tell you, like Worcestershire sauce, right? It's one of those sauces that you just add to things for cooking, but no one's ever gone, I'll put a bit of it on the side of my plate for dipping. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a sauce. It feels like it's an ingredient, not a sauce. You know what I'm
it's so
saying?
perfumey. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like non-food like to the point where it's like, kind of dip. Well, there's so much clove and baking spice in it. Like
I was gonna
it's,
say, well, I don't even know
super
what's in it.
funky.
Yeah.
I've made it before. It's gnarly. There's like everything in it. There's like, it's not vegan also. I know we missed the vegan topic earlier.
Yeah.
Really?
It is not. No, there's
It's not?
anchovies in it.
Oh,
Really?
my wife
Oh.
eats that shit all day.
That's it.
I'm gonna do
You're
what
gonna ruin her life tonight.
I'm gonna do what my wife does with desserts when she gives me a vegan cooking. She goes, "Are you enjoying that? Are you enjoying it?" Yes, I'm enjoying it. It's vegan, like that. I'm gonna do that to her. I'm gonna go, "Are you having fun with your sauce? Are you enjoying it?
No, wait, you may not be allowed to have it anymore.
is fish
It's filled
baby
with my
stem
cum."
Wait, so there's anchovy.
I heard you guys had the cum conversation earlier. Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we-
were saying whether it was vegan.
That was
or
in the
not.
Patreon
Yeah.
podcast. If you
Yeah.
want to listen,
Apparently,
We
some people
tried to
say it is.
discover whether
Yeah.
vegans can swallow.
I've been literally asking that question for over a decade. I have like a few questions that I ask people when they say they like are down with any sort of
Doesn't
comedy.
get invited
It
to a lot
never
of
goes
parties.
well. No, that's
Only
definitely
the fun ones.
Apparently, consciousness is a big thing. Because obviously plants, trees are alive, and vegans eat them, but it's an element of consciousness. That's
Humans
where
are
it gets
so
in this
fickle.
gray area. Yeah.
Humans are so fickle. They're just like, this fits my agenda. I don't know. There's some consciousness element
Of course.
to it.
There's
Yeah.
a load of vegan porn stars, man. So they'd know.
We have to probably get them on here.
Yeah.
They're not as fun as you think.
I've met it. I mean,
No, they're fun.
I'm working on a segment right now with my friend who owns this company called Assholes Live Forever. His name's Kirill.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, and he's based in LA. You'd fucking love him. But yeah, we're working on a show called Food for Thought, THOT, where we do food science with porn stars.
Food science
And-
with porn stars.
Food science with porn stars.
well,
yeah.
we've got
So
one
then
for
they-
you, Lexi Luna.
The first thing is you got to fillet them. like people say they're real
There's
people.
just
but-
not much meat on them. Yeah.
Oh, before we move on, what was the argument we had about hollandaise sauce?
Oh, I have it pulled.
Oh yeah, because there's some I don't even remember what episode that
Oh
was.
yeah, I watched it last
Yeah.
night.
Was I pro or against? No,
I was talking about how you make it because I said I made it. I've made hollandaise sauce
You
so
steep
much.
it. There's steeping. Ask me what steeping is. No,
It was an ingredient. I was saying don't have it in a restaurant, but I think it was how it was made. We were talking about.
Yeah, you add the butter in very gentle, like, and then it blend it up in a
I don't remember what
blender.
we said.
You make it in a blender, it comes out great.
Go ahead, yeah. I thought you had this queued up.
Yeah, Jake.
Other experts have been
Oh, the
much
episode.
further.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Because when I was an expert.
Oh, I could tell you what time
stamp
stamp it is.
When I was an expert.
Stop. I don't know if Forrest is yelling at me now or then.
I was
having
starting to have a little bit of a panic attack.
I don't
There's too
think
much
we can do
going
it,
on.
Jack.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do it. It's. I don't know.
It was
Mayonnaise is
around
sticking
like
its mouth.
108.
The argument was based off of.
I don't remember.
What are the ingredients? in
We had a
hollandaise sauce?
debate.
No butter.
Butter.
Oh, there we
we
go.
go.
There we go.
I think this is
Hey.
just some Grey Poupon mustard in there.
Oh, there's mustard in there.
No.
Yeah.
Jelly.
Lemon.
Okay. Anything else?
Chives.
Yeah, there's like a green
Mustard
thing,
was
so that'd be
mustard.
chives, yeah.
Mustard was the
Green
issue.
and hollandaise
That's
sauce.
on
And
top.
hollandaise sauce.
You can.
You could put it in.
That would be a
some.
garnish. You wouldn't put that in the sauce.
No, we're not in
You
Australia.
might
It's
not.
different, it's different.
In Australia, it's different. It's
I think it was
pronounced
mustard
differently,
was the
too.
problem. Okay.
All right. So the question is, should there be mustard in the sauce? I think there should be.
I don't think so.
It's not whether it should be. So sure, to add flavor, there's definitely an argument there, but is it necessary to create that sauce? No. The functionality of that comes from physically just the egg yolks and the binding. So egg yolks, basically, they have two types of acid. That one that works with water and one that works with fat. That's why it can actually create a bonded emulsion. Whereas like most stuff, you just kind of mix together and it looks like it's emulsified, but it'll eventually separate into the two. So mustard is an emulsifier, but only because it has lecithin, which is it's an emulsifying agent. So it gets along well with things, but it doesn't bond like egg yolks will. So to make a hollandaise, you wouldn't need mustard. It's not implicit in the recipe. Does it go in it often? Sure. Yes, it does.
Oh, it
But
does.
is it intrinsic in the recipe?
Classic hollandaise. Yeah.
No,
okay.
it is not.
So all
right. So we're both right, Jim.
So what's the
Wow.
what's the type of
listening.
what's it? Yeah, we were both right. Yeah, it's fun. So what's like okay when you see a chef make a meal where you go, oh, this fucking hack, like what is the meal where you like that is so cliche where I might think it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how there was that era for a while where people were putting sun-dried tomatoes and chicken on flatbreads and things like that. What's the hackiest thing going around right now?
I mean, we're in the toast era, I would say, where people are putting things on toast and being like, avocado toast. And it's like, you made a dish out of nothing.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. So, I mean, there's probably the cliches of, I mean, there's a great scene in the movie Chef where he's going through the menu that the owner is forcing him to fucking put out. And it's like a chocolate lava cake, for example. There's the novelty of like the table side, like, oh, you cut it and it all over the table and stuff like that. But like from the chef perspective, it's just fucking soulless.
Oh, well, you just leave it, take it out of the oven a bit quicker. That's the whole thing you do with the chocolate lava cake. Right?
No, you make some sort of you make a component that when at room temperature is liquid that you freeze into a disc. So you would mount that into a cake batter, cook it so that it comes to room temperature as the cake is cooked.
All you need to know about chocolate lava cakes is they sell them at Domino's.
Mhm.
They do. They used to be a dessert delivered to you. I thought my mother used to have a thing where when she was alive, she did a lot more when she was alive.
Yeah.
And
She really did.
She did.
She really did.
She used to do this thing when it wasn't just family. If there was a new person at the dinner table and we're in a restaurant, she would find something bad on the menu and then act like she'd never tasted it before. So the other person would push her into purchasing it. And so the chocolate molten lava cake reminded me of it because the first time she met Kate, who is my son's mother, and we were in Australia and she was going through the menu and she went like this, oh, a chocolate molten lava cake. I don't believe I've ever had one of those.
What could that be?
A chocolate molten lava cake? And then Kate was like this, you've never had a chocolate molten lava cake? She goes,
Your
yeah.
impression of Kate is so ridiculous.
She goes, it's like a brownie, but the middle's all the stuff. What? Are you? If you've never had one, she goes, if you've never had one, you have to try one. And I'm sitting there going, oh, fuck, the theatre. The fucking theatre we're doing. Just have your fucking cake. Do we have to go through this every time?
She wanted to say, well, I didn't need a dessert.
So then I waited. And then, okay, well, if I must try one once. So she got the cake and then she'd sit there and then I wait for her to have a bite. Well, you've tasted it now. And then I'd take it away.
Just act so perturbed, like, oh, if I must try this kind of thing.
Oh yeah. So me and the wife now, we do that with all food now that we shouldn't be eating. Chocolate. Don't believe I've ever tried chocolate. Why do they call it late?
What's a ribby?
What are the two main ingredients in a custard? Jim said eggs and turds.
I
He
think
did come back and say cream, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, either milk or cream. That was That's
Wow. So you got a
ding,
point
ding,
there.
ding,
yeah.
ding, ding, ding,
So,
ding.
yeah, I have some stories about my mum and custard as well.
A lot of food related.
She used to put custard on fucking everything,
What a
right?
childhood.
Yeah, like right to the day she died. We used to have a carton of custard in the fridge, ready to pour on anything that
Carton
needed
of custard?
Wait, is it immobile enough that it can pour?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the rest of the world, you have runny custard, like that yellowy type of custard, right? And you
I don't know what you're talking about.
You
I
pour
don't either.
I'm looking it up now, but
custard.
I've never even seen that.
Yeah,
in like
custard to
Britain.
me is like firm.
No, it's
Or-
like a,
Not like
it's
frozen
I know
custard.
what you're talking
It's
about.
It's,
Okay,
liquid.
I'm
It's
out. Okay,
liquid
okay.
that you pour on like a sticky toffee pudding or something
I know what
like
you're
that.
talking about.
I mean,
You pour
one
it in
of the-
something. It can be
One of the-
gloopy. It can
one
be.
of the
It go
questions
from.
here is how do you fix runny
It's like-
custard?
It can go
That's
from.
like
It can go from runny to solid. Like, but there's a whole fucking spectrum.
Yeah, there's a spectrum, and you guys
There's
need to
a
respect that.
spectrum of custard.
I'm sorry. We're being very like a
You guys are being super binary, and
Yeah,
custard
yeah,
is
yeah.
non-binary.
like a
There's they, them, and them custard.
So you had a carton of custard.
guys.
We'd have a carton of custard, like a milk carton
really?
of custard, sitting in the fridge for all of our custard needs.
non-viscosity inclusive. Okay, all right. So my
Have you
apologies.
Googled
Okay,
carton
I
of
have not
custard?
seen
Ambrosia, was that the name? There
Whatever we could get our
birds.
hands
There
on.
was
first.
birds custard.
I guess what's the term for racism in that world? Is it viscosist? Like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, one time I found my mum just drinking the custard from the carton.
Oh dear.
In the middle of the night, I walked in. She was on the fridge, and she went, "Hi, I need this for my diabetes. My sugar level was terribly low."
Oh well, at least it was for health reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother used to talk about diabetes. It was very funny because she'd always ask for like chocolate. There was a make-believe diabetic magazine that no one ever saw.
By the way, you told me this before I came to Australia one time, and I didn't believe you. And then I saw it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm
Okay,
okay.
good. to
Yeah.
know.
The diabetes.
So she was taking my son when he was like 3 out to the carnival, and she goes, "Oh, I need to get some fairy floss," which is what Australians call cotton candy,
Mhm.
right?
Fairy floss.
We call them fairy floss.
I actually
Wow.
almost put that in the questions.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have got it.
yeah. So we call it fairy floss. They've changed it now.
Yeah,
to-
it sounds.
Yeah, they've just changed it now to him, them, the floss. Anyway, so
How can they have the golden gay time, but they can't have fairy floss?
we still have fairy floss. I still call it fairy floss. Like cotton
The old
candy. What
PC
type of
popsicle.
what type of girly name is cotton candy? It's bloody fairy floss. Anyway, so
Brought to you by Ford.
So my mum was like, "Oh, I must get a bag of fairy floss," and my son wasn't into it. And then she goes, "It's
For the
a
diabetes.
grandmother's right to buy their grandchild
Yeah.
fairy floss." And I said, "Mum, you can't have it. You're diabetic. You're not meant to be eating fairy floss." And she goes, "I'll have you know that fairy floss is on the list of things you should eat as a diabetic. It's in the diabetic magazine as when you're at a carnival. If you want to, if you want to have it."
Yeah, I was with you for this.
Yeah,
I was with you for this.
this is actual
What the
dialogue.
fuck?
I
If
was
you
standing
want
right
to,
next to you when this happened.
if you want to have a treat at the fair, you have fairy floss. It's only a small teaspoon of sugar that they wisp, and then she gets all salivaty. They wisp so light and so big and so anyways, there's
my
also
God.
Maltesers, which are Whoppers. She also believed that Whoppers were the sweet food of choice that are on the diabetic list.
Oh my god.
Okay,
I
which
gotta see this magazine.
This list
Yeah, no, that's my exact question is what the fuck is going on with this
If
magazine?
anyone can find us a diabetic list that includes Maltesers and cotton, or just a diabetic list that your doctor's given you
with sugar stuff?
with sugar products that they promote.
I mean, name one healthy factoid that was accurate in a magazine. It's all like 10 healthy fucking tips
That's a
to make
good
you lose
point.
all
Yeah.
of the things that, you know,
All right,
all your kids and
so
shit.
as are you health conscious? You look like a thin guy. Are you health conscious?
That's just all that iced coffee and no eating. Yes and no.
Okay.
At times, I've made it a point to study health so I can know how to be effective with it, and so I know how to be healthy if I need to.
Do you get high on your own supply, like when you're cooking?
I fucking hate my own food. Yeah, no, that's a super common thing. I feel like in any sort of creative industry, probably you can.
Oh no,
voice-
I'm the best comedian in the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the best comedian in the world, you get
That's not
done with
true.
your fucking material.
Almost every time before I go on stage, I'm like, people are gonna laugh at this shit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
this is like-
Oh, no,
You just-
no, every time I walk on stage, I am surprised.
Music, food, anything like that. Even if you know it's good, it doesn't necessarily mean by the time you're ready to produce it that you're super excited about eating it. I always like tell people it's like I'm much rather eat something that someone gave me that's like very mundane or like super easy from their perspective, that'll always make me happy. You can give me a double cheeseburger from McDonald's and I will love it more than my food in general.
Just had Shake Shack.
Yeah, they're good though.
Okay.
So the food pyramid, right? We all know that it's wrong from the 90s and the 80s where they put bread as the basis. Just a wall of have as much bread and pasta
Grains
as possible. That's your basis of your whole tower. And then the next one was fruit and vegetables. Then it was meats. And then it was like
dairy, eggs.
And then if you get to the table,
there was dairy, and then the top was oil.
Cocaine.
Yeah, it was oil. Now,
You don't use the rest of the pyramid if you're on cocaine.
what's the order of the pyramid now?
I would say that one thing that period was about is like, yeah, sure, it's all fucking carbohydrates, and they're like, get a good glass of America and Coca-Cola and wash it down, and that was what that was. It's so changed since
Didn't
then.
Coke start out as a sports drink?
No, it started out in a pharmacy.
Oh, that's right. There was something else that started
an
out as-
elixir.
And it started out with cocaine in it.
Yeah.
Trace
good old days.
amounts.
Yeah.
Trace amounts.
Yeah, trace amounts. Don't worry about
Just
that.
enough for a buzz.
You say
Yeah.
trace amounts. You see how small cocaine is compared to a Coca-Cola? That's a trace amount.
amounts.
Trace amounts.
Which oil?
Lick a dollar bill, you'll get higher than drinking a Coke.
Which oil has the highest smoke point? Jim said peanut oil really smokes a lot.
Peanut oil or sesame seed oil goes for it, man. You put that in a pan, it fucking
That
goes for
shit's
it.
trying, man.
I'll tell you what takes forever. That avocado oil is a slow laboring oil.
So I don't even know what the highest smoke point means.
So you're answering the question inaccurately, but
I'm saying what's the smokiest?
Yes. You're doing it the opposite. So you're answering the question right, but you're just doing it. You're not.
So it has the lowest smoke
You're
point.
answering a
peanut oil.
different
You're answering it
question.
the opposite way. Yeah. So no, I mean,
avocado.
the most controversial oil is the highest in smoke point, which is rapeseed oil.
Oh yes, those dear seeds. There's not enough kits in the world to save them.
I can't. If someone can Google it, that'd be great. But if you look up it's from Canada. So canola oil stands for Canadian oil low acid, and it was a marketing ploy to remarket rapeseed oil because the term rape kind of developed a bad connotation after a while.
After a while,
I was gonna make a rape joke, but Jim always gets bummed out when I talk about my
I didn't
life.
make a.
Rapeseed oil, yeah, canola
That
oil.
was
yeah.
a joke in and of itself. Okay. Yes. So if you look up I don't know how you would look it up, but the initial town in Canada that made it popular, they had a slogan.
What
It was
the
like-
seed or the first
It
bit?
was like
For
the Toronto
I'm
Raptors
looking
seed.
it up.
It was like-
rapeseed.
Oh yeah, it was like, make this country rape again or some shit like that. It was
you don't want to know
literally-
what the Toronto
It was
Raptors were
so
originally
bad.
called.
But
Toronto rapists.
anyways, through that came this need to create this kind of mix oil. But long story short, anything that can last a while. So avocado oil is among them. Canola oil is made up of rapeseed.
Why didn't they just throw a G on the front of that?
grape seed?
Yeah.
I think
Because
it was something else.
We already have the word grape.
Yeah, I know, but or just
that
like
fucked my brain up. I was like, what word are you talking about?
grape seed.
Grape.
You could throw any letter in front
But
of
I
that.
am
Drape
right.
seed.
Peanut and sesame seed go for it, right? They smoke like all
Peanut
balls.
is great. Sesame seed, not necessarily, because it depends on what it's made from. Black sesame seed versus white sesame seed. Black sesame seeds aren't different. They just still have their skin on.
That's the lowest
and if you
smoke
put
point
a
then, right?
sesame
One of the
seed in
lowest.
the ground, will you grow a sesame tree?
Yes.
All right, good.
What
What is a sesame tree? Is there one? Where do we get
What does
sesame
it, like,
seeds
what does
from?
it look like?
Where do we get them from?
I don't know.
I'm looking up
Sesame
this
seed
saying.
Sesame
I
Right.
feel like they just
Sesame
appear
Street.
on buns.
I think they fall
Yeah.
off bagels and then we.
Yeah, they fall off
They come
trucks.
from bagel trees.
There's no sesame trees.
Yes, there are. I think it's.
I don't know.
Here you go.
Here we go.
Since 1960, Tisdale was a hamlet in the Saskatchewan Prairie, where I guess a lot of the rapeseed came from. Welcome signs promoting the village as the land of rape and honey. That's how they promote that when you're driving into the town. It's saying, welcome to the land of rape and honey.
As if they had never heard the fucking word before.
Yeah, and so
they
they-
literally was just like a farming town for
They
that.
got
And then
rid of that.
eventually,
Yeah.
rape, honey, be cocky.
Yeah.
So smoke
we
point.
need to steer this boat in a different direction.
Okay, so just to
Vegetable oil.
make it highest smoke point means that it
Trying to get back on telly.
It takes the longest to burn. Oh,
takes the longest to burn, which is ideal for what you want. Most people cook with olive oil. The Food Network glamorizes, romanticizes cooking with olive oil, and olive oil is how to think of it is a condiment. It's not meant to be heated up. It's extra virgin olive oil is the first press of a young fruit. That young fruit has the nutrients and basically just the stuff in it to carry it to fruition, which is not meant to be heated up.
It's salad dressings. It's good for.
Yeah, I mean, you can warm it. It's made for salad, but it's not meant for sauteing. If you're like, the Food Network is always just like, steak, get a hot pan, olive oil. It's just.
So what should I put in for my steak?
Butter.
Dip. I mean, we'll get
It's
into
not
the
the
steak
answer to
combo.
everything, Kelly.
No, and butter you would want
Brown
to
butter
finish
steak
with.
is amazing.
Sure, but it depends on the length of window, the amount of gasoline you have in that butter versus the amount of gasoline you have in that steak. The butter won't get you to that place that the steak will. So it'll be so burnt by the time you finish with butter.
I don't know.
All right,
We'll get to that steak.
Okay,
though.
we'll get to it in a second. Then. Go ahead.
Did you want to talk about?
I used to work at McDonald's, right?
Fuck off.
And I almost burnt my fucking eyebrows off because one of the jobs they would give the 14-year-olds is you would have to fucking empty the vats out, right? Every 3 days at McDonald's. You'd empty them out and they'd pour it all into a bucket of boiling hot water. And then they would give you a block of fat that was just like ice cream and a scoop, and you'd have to scoop it all in. You'd have to scrub the thing. Anyways, this is not a great story. But I'd gone in to clean the vat and I hadn't turned the vat off, and I just went to wipe the side of it and it was like a match, and it just went up into my face.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they didn't care.
How long?
Is that why you became a comedian?
Sesame seeds come in plants.
Because that is true, Cody. I really wanted to be the best McDonald's employee ever, but that's what really stopped it.
Hey, I mean, it's never too late.
Look, that was my cooking. I cooked on a professional level.
Kelly's got your sesame seed.
Yeah,
question.
sesame seeds are in plants, and as the fruits dry, the pods begin to open, revealing the seeds inside.
Wait, why the
What
fuck
plant?
wouldn't they be in plants?
What?
I thought that was a joke.
What plant? No, it's sesame seed. We come off a sesame tree. If you lay a seed down, a
What
tree
plant?
will grow.
A
What's
sesame
It's
plant?
more of a
what
bush,
is it like?
not?
Is it like an
Yeah,
apple?
It's a bush, right?
It's more like bush, like
Sesame
shrub.
bush.
So picture
And
a
then they got
strawberry
little
with no
pods.
fruit. Yeah.
Is that them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they shake out of the pods, and then they need to be hulled to come out of their shells.
All right, moving on. How long should soft-boiled eggs be cooked for? Jim said 6 minutes.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. That was pretty fucking good. I would say that if you want it more firm, it's like 6 to 7. If you want them soft, 4 to 5. If it's more like the ramen style egg, you boil water and then put eggs in a towel, in a kitchen towel, turn the heat off and lower them in. 18-minute timer.
In a kitchen towel.
In a kitchen towel. That way they're not touching direct contact to the heat. After 18 minutes, put them in, shock them in cold water, and you'll have like the ramen style soft poach. So it kind of depends east versus west, which one you're doing. But yeah,
I always used to
ding,
put the
ding.
cold water afterwards so that the yolk wouldn't go brown around the outside. Is that true?
I thought
yeah.
it doesn't stick, the shells, and I don't know.
That's salt more from what I've heard. Salt,
Oh, really?
yeah. Things that would affect the chemical structure of it will depend on how it reacts with
I
the.
used to boil eggs on the regular as a child. That was like a.
What's your favorite way to eat eggs?
I like a poached egg, but I'm not very good at cooking them. And I've bought so many different implements over the years to do a poached egg.
poachifiers?
I've got a good one now that sort of sits in the water and you sort of crack the egg into it and it goes down.
Mhm.
And then that one works pretty good. These little plastic cups that go in there. But
Cute.
no, I've tried a million times to stir the water and you add some oil or some shit.
And then it just dissipates and
Yeah,
it
I
looks like
can't- I
a
can't
fucking
do it.
spirit
oil
Halloween
or
ghost
vinegar?
costume.
Oh, vinegar.
You would
Yeah,
put
that's
vinegar
right.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinegar's going to tighten it up. It's going to make it.
I can't do that. I need a special egg pouch to put it in or something.
Well, you can just do it out of a bowl. But also that 18-minute timer thing that I was saying, you heat water up till it's boiling in the eggs in the fucking blanket towel. There we go. Towel was the word. Put that in there, 18-minute timer. That'll give you the egg that you want.
Why did the term poaching a player or poaching a this? Where did that come from?
Another podcast.
I was going to say, is that I don't know about sports?
What does
Isn't that like a hunting thing?
Yeah, I would guess it was hunting.
I'm going to mispronounce everything again. What does brunoise mean?
Fuck, you already.
Sauce that uses alcohol to be burnt down. How do I say it?
So
Brunoise.
brunoise, yeah, you nailed it.
Brunoise.
You mentioned it. Like, don't mention a julienne. A julienne is step 1 to a brunoise. So if you julienne to like a 1 to 2 millimeter matchstick cut, where you make something into sticks, then you would turn that and then cut that. It's the process of making something into a square. So it's the smallest kitchen cut. So if you're
So
like,
it's like little cubed, like
So it's dicing.
yeah.
it's
sort of.
not dicing because dicing isn't implicit on. You can dice anything and it's not implicit of the format. So like, for example, like a carrot that's all obtuse, you would cut the sides of it off. So it's rectangular. And then from there you would cut panels. So you'd form rectangles. From there, you would cut strips to form julienne. And from there, you would cut, turn them sideways to cut brunoise into these small triangles. So the dice, you could take an onion and just go over and dice it.
I just use my slap
All
chop.
right. All right.
A Brunoise triangle. Okay.
Square.
Oh,
Rank-
square. Sorry.
Rank the top 5 cuisines. Starting at 5 with a bullet.
I would say that for me, it's fuck, that's so tough.
You can start at 1 and work backwards.
Spanish food has a huge place in my heart. Spanish food, Italian food, Korean food, Japanese food, Mexican food. Those are probably my top.
Mexican's number 1.
Mexican is so eclectic. It doesn't get enough.
Not really. It's just the same 5 ingredients.
What you get here, but if you go, man, I've had some meals down in Mexico.
See, that's what I'm saying is that it's so slept on when you go to Mexico.
I'm a big fan.
We have
I'm
a
a big-
Mexican here.
Luis is only allowed to talk.
Hey,
when
live in
he's
the flesh.
Only whenever we bring up Mexico, Louis is allowed to talk.
He's
Other than
always
that,
like,
that was
That's your
good.
grito. That's
That
your
was
grito.
really
Hey, Luis,
Yeah.
test him on some Mexican shit about food.
Yeah, mi apellido
Yeah.
is Candelario way.
Are there lobster in Mexico? I got shit for that. So.
I know there is. He didn't. It's a whole other episode.
Interesting. It's
Yeah.
always available. I would assume no then, huh?
No, it's down there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it's always available. But the way
Yeah.
you said that, I was like, maybe it's like, oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he probably
different.
thought it was a trick
It's like
question.
a spiny kind of
He
lobster.
just didn't
but-
know.
Oh, I got a question.
Do Mexicans use beans in their food?
Yes.
All right. He
Like
knows
pretty
his
He knows
stuff,
his
man. He knows.
Jim, where was the Caesar salad invented?
my nanny, she doesn't do much for me, but she cooks beans every day. Every day we have frioli.
Do you know where the Caesar salad was invented?
Frioli.
You don't say frioli?
Not with an I like that. You're like pluralizing it like Italians.
What
would
do you
frijole.
call it? Froli.
Frijoles.
Like Axel
frijoles,
Froli.
yeah.
How do you say it?
Frijoles.
Frijoles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds like you have a mouthful of frijoles when you say that.
I think frioli.
A wet one.
Frioli is the right way to say. What do you know about Australian cuisine?
Fucking nothing. I was trying to do some research on it. Some like fucking
Okay, you like puff pastry?
yeah.
All right, well, you cover it in everything.
Hey, man.
Australia must account for 90% of the puff pastry use in this entire country.
I've heard.
Think of a food, we'll just wrap it in puff pastry. Australia.
What about puff pastry? He's like, yeah, puff pastry, puff pastry. Okay.
I
That
know,
would be good.
we just call it pastry, but it's puff pastry and your sausage rolls, meat pies. No, we've got very good seafood. It's a young country, so everything's sort of fusiony, but we have amazing Asian food because of our immigrants in the same way that you have
Yeah, you have a
amazing-
lot of Southeast Asian from what I've heard.
What?
Yeah, where is it?
Cody asked you a question. Where was Caesar salad from?
That was the case. So Caesar salad, Cody, you might not know this, uses the cos leaf lettuce. A lot of people don't like to put
Where's
the
it
end
from?
cheap. This is I'm getting to.
Segue.
It's the
It's
journey,
It's the
Forrest.
journey,
It's not about the
Forrest.
destination.
Sit
Jesus
back,
Christ.
enjoy the ride.
Let him. He
That's
has
a journey.
gold coming.
Take a
Stop interrupting.
seat. Where's your grumpy hat?
And then you toss the salad in the leaves.
Yeah.
From the front or the back?
You like this?
Ooh, that's
Like that.
nice.
Yeah, well, you can see it. You can see it
Oh,
fluffing
I can
over.
see it.
Couldn't you?
Oh, it's letting. You're not spilling any of it.
It's amazing
Very good.
visuals.
I know the answers to this.
I would say it would be from America.
Tijuana, I think. Is where-
Yeah, you are. It's on debate
Which is
whether or not.
basically America 2.0.
Well, is San Diego basically Mexico then? Because you have to
Yeah.
choose a side.
Yeah.
then. Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we're just separate.
Luis agrees. Luis agrees with
So
that.
how did it get associated with being an Italian salad?
Because
It's
people
like-
are dumb. It's
Yeah.
a fucking Julius Caesar. Everyone's just like they think it's Greek. No, it was just yeah. I mean,
Some
it's
guy named Caesar.
Julius Caesar wasn't Greek.
no
Was he
Italian.
not?
Italian. We're
Was he
saying.
not?
He was
No.
Roman.
Roman.
Romans
Oh,
from
then
Italy.
Roman. I
No,
don't
but
know.
you just said it right. I said, why did it get associated with Italian? You said
No, he
Julius
said
Caesar.
Julius Caesar. People think it's
Yeah,
Greek.
I think you misspoke. 'Cause we were
No,
Yeah, well, I'm
no.
not. I'm okay. I'm the cooking guy.
Rome
Get the
is
geography
in,
episode.
Rome is in Italy.
Prove it.
like Jim.
I've
That's
been
true.
there.
I have no way
saw
to
it.
prove that.
What's
Fuck
your-
yeah, I have
what-
been there. Damn it.
What's your cuisine rankings, Jim? Before we go on,
All right, here you go. You ready? You ready?
Number one with a bullet.
Okay.
sausage rolls?
Number 5, the Thai food.
Oh yeah,
that's
that's
a
a
good
good
one.
one.
Ooh, I might even put it higher.
Mm.
Number 4, Mexican. Ayu, ayu. He can do it,
Yeah.
man. Mexican food. And then I would put Italiano.
Mhm.
And then Japanese is my number one. If I really want to go,
You need another one in the middle.
and then I'm trying to think of what would I really.
Burgers.
Okay, here we go. Indian food when in
London?
England.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
Indian
yeah.
food India or Indian food England? That's
England,
interesting.
Indian food, England.
That is
Down
some of the
Brick Lane or
best
something.
food,
That's
yeah.
like that's a good ass meal, man. You're having a good day.
And Pizza Hut in India is very good.
What the fuck?
It is. It really is. I was like, holy shit, this is way better
Indian
here.
food is so underrated in this country, and they don't really do it very well.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I think it's
Indian food
properly
right now, I
rated.
feel like is where Chinese food was like 10 years ago, where it's just like everyone just thinks of curries, but it hasn't really evolved past that yet.
I believe that there's going to be a moment where the Indian, like, look, I married an Indian woman in the hope that she would cook Indian food, and she does not.
a British.
You think you would have asked
Yeah.
that ahead of time?
I married a woman of Indian descent from England.
Yeah.
Like fucking everything's lined up for me to have a curry.
Mhm.
Should have asked her first before you married
Yeah.
her.
That's what I would have.
Yeah.
This is one of the basic conversations.
Just
Nothing.
just
I'm-
on the honeymoon, like, oh,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah, I'm
just
getting
one little
fucking
question.
tofu on cucumbers, man.
You deliver on your end. You bring meat pies and
I
sausage
bring meat
rolls.
pies and sausage rolls.
Oh, you
No,
bring
I'm-
that. You bring that.
I
meat
make
pie,
Australian
huh?
cuisine.
Another euphemism.
Mhm.
What makes broth different than stock? I don't know.
You
Yeah.
started describing this so close. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's.
Oh, I got it. Stock involves bones,
Isn't there bone
Why'd you
broth?
answer like that? Boom.
and the bones are removed, where the broth is more of a soup.
You okay?
You know, you guys are giggling. He's so fucking close.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
I know, it's just the
it's
way
not
he's
about his
saying the
answers.
words.
No, I think I have. I
Just
think
the
I've
candor?
cracked it. Yeah.
Boom.
Bones.
Bones.
A
And the
broth
other
is
one's
generally made with meat. A stock is generally made with bones, and that's like probably like the basic level. If you want to go further than that, it would be which one is clarified and which one isn't. But yeah, you answered that
Okay.
question by
Pulled that bone out of my ass.
Hey, brrr, how big was it?
Why was it there?
Yeah.
and use a stock over broth's just like for a soup, or is it like
I would say that it's their app. Yeah, it's their application. Like a broth is probably more designed to be a finished product, whereas a stock is kind of like a Lego. It's meant to be used for other stuff.
I would say that
I guess.
you couldn't have a vegan broth, but you can have a vegan stock, because my wife's very big on a vegan ramen.
if you made it out of the bones of a vegan?
Yeah.
True.
Stock. Cornstarch mixed with water is called what? Answer. What's cornstarch?
Yeah, that was. I would have been kind of surprised.
I'm a bit weird.
It's called a slurry. Yeah, it's called a slurry. It's like a
Slurry.
basic thickening thing. It's mostly used in like a Eastern culture.
I got some cornstalk here if you want to see it.
Cornstarch.
Starch.
and also
I've
cornstarch
gone
is
this long.
super. it's been used forever for.
If I see it, I'll just be like, oh man.
Oh my God, Jack.
I
What is
could have
this?
been looking at this my whole life.
The whole time? This?
So it's called a slurry, right?
Well, but it's been used in kitchens to alleviate moisture in certain men areas. Like
Oh,
people
really?
will just like dump it on their hands and
Oh, so it's like baking
oh,
soda.
like if you're cooking and you got a
Or
sweaty
baking
crotch.
powder.
you
just-
got it's fucking
It's talcum powder.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's not talcum powder, but it's used for the same thing. Yeah.
okay. And for thickening. All right. Barding refers to what? It's when you braid your hair on the animal before you cook it.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Yeah, no, it's where it's where you strengthen the sausage. It's or you want to add fat to things that generally don't have fat. So you take a pork loin, you wrap it in bacon. Anything that's wrapped in a fat that's meant to add some sort of ulterior fat
Fun.
or moisture.
That is the. Well, I watch a lot of these shows. That's the key to winning challenges. Just wrap something in bacon. I'll ask you this about the challenges. First of all, I like to watch MasterChef Junior. Is one of my shows that's on TV at the moment.
He's really nice to them.
Because what I do
He
is,
is.
oh no, he was really mean to this one kid, Freddie, the
Yeah,
other day.
but Freddie deserves it.
Oh, Freddie was.
I'm just kidding. I'm not
He was
watching.
really ripping into fucking Freddie. Leave him alone.
He probably believed in Freddie then.
Yeah.
Freddie got knocked out that week.
Oh no,
Anyways,
what a cunt.
Yeah. But like there was one thing where it's like the chicken's not cooked. These vegetables are. We have guests out in the kitchen. They're waiting. Oh, it's my reputation. Shut up.
What have you been doing your whole fucking life?
Like it's my reputation. Like
Yeah.
the people out there are going to go, Gordon didn't make these children cook up to my standard.
He's got that
Anyway.
out from now on. You can always be like, I didn't make it. One of his contestants.
Yeah,
said,
That would be like getting mad at Apple if one of their
And
children, one of the
so
children made a bad call.
He was yelling at these two kids. He was yelling at these two kids. And then Freddie, who was just cooking a bit of chicken off to the side, he just sort of looked over like, oh, what's going on over here? Like that. And he goes, stop being nosy. And then for all fucking hell, get back to me chicken. Right? Anyway, what I do is it's a fun game I play with my son who couldn't toast a bit of bread, mostly because I haven't taught him.
Yeah.
You know, this is the reason.
You don't know how either.
Yeah, I don't want it. I
Step
feel
one.
nervous with knives and boiling water. I know I'm being
none of
over.
those are involved in toasting bread.
I know, but I mean that's why I haven't gotten into cooking. It's a thing. But what I do is like there'll always be like a 7-year-old be like, I like to cook because my dad told me that cooking makes like that, right? And I look at my son who's 9. I go, look at her. Bloody, she's fucking 7. She can do it all.
Hank would be like, I like to order Postmates because my dad orders Postmates.
And then I go, Hank, next year we want you on this show, so you gotta be really up and going.
I mean, you could easily hire somebody to give him chef lessons. There you go. You got a chef right here. And
no, then I
You
have
need to
Cody in
hire
my
me.
house all the time. Those little kids that are creepy when they're just like, why have you add absinthe into this or like whatever? Not absinthe was a bad fucking thing.
Absinthe?
Was it? What's those star things that taste shitty?
anise?
Gummies?
Anise or whatever. Yeah, those.
You don't
ones
like
that-
them?
I don't like it. Yeah, they put that in the food. And then I added that in to add flavor because it cut through the flavor of the pork. And you're like, shut up, you dumb 7-year-old. Fucking telling me about flavor profiles. What the fuck's wrong with you? Go
Microwave some nuggets.
Go kick a can around or get a stick, a hoop, and a stick and push it down the road like a normal
You
kid.
just want kids to be
God,
kids.
I just want the offshoot of this show where you're the judge and you're just like harmoniously aggressive towards them with no
The better they are, the more mad he gets.
no-
Go
Wait,
fucking
but then they do this
outside.
with, I want you to make as many perfect donuts in this amount of time. And I'm looking at all these donuts as shit. The Krispy Kreme people make a perfect donut, wonderful shape.
That's a
And
robot.
and I'm like, and that's a machine doing it. It's human touch. One day there'll be machines and no chefs. Anyway, and the kids are like dunking the donuts. And then they go, anyway, I watch a lot of MasterChef.
How old were you when you started cooking? Were you 7?
I was 13. Well,
13.
I got my first job when I was 13. My mom was a single mom and she just she could get good at cooking. She just never did. So she would
So you had to feed yourself?
fuck yeah, let me and my sister. So she would like boil, for example, she'd like steam broccoli, overcook it, try to cover it with cheese, put it in the oven, overcook it, and just keep panicking in those series of layers. So she'd call me and be like, hey, you didn't make it home from work. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I fucking got it. I got it.
Mm.
I was like 8 years old, like cooking tomato sauce with like leftover red wine, thinking I was an absolute god. But I got a job when I was 13 and started getting my ass kicked.
And do you like working in restaurants or do you prefer just doing what you're doing now?
I love working in restaurants. I've just had a few things happen to the point where it's just, the industry's not what it is. COVID's really fucked it up. It's not a fun playing ground. It's at the end of the day, you are left to your own devices. No one's coming to save you. So I reached a point where I was like, I want to find other avenues where I can still cook, still remain relevant and continue to learn, but also still have fun, make money and continue to kind of move around the world. I also lost my sense of smell 5 fucking years ago. So it's made it a bit difficult.
What? How did you lose that?
Just trying to find out what keys smell like.
That's
Well, no, I mean, I was the private chef for the owner of Birkenstock, the shoe company,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
doing a lot of
you
culinary
must
projects.
know a lot of lesbians.
Dude, in Europe, it's actually way more of a baller brand. But yeah, you come here and it's like, yeah, just sandals and crunchy patchouli, kind of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, I had kind of a cool job and I was just working way too hard. I got sick and I was also doing a bunch of drugs at the time. So I don't really know what it was.
How do you cook without a because it affects your taste, right?
Sure. Yeah. I haven't been able to taste anything culinary related for that amount of time. So like my tongue is fine. It's mostly I just can't smell. So if you were to like when you're congested, like if you were to eat Thai food, for example, versus French food, Thai food has so much pointy stuff in it. Super sweet, super spicy, it's super salty. Those kinds of things balance. Those are sensory stuff. So my senses are fine in terms of achieving balance. That's what I kind of cling to.
How did you do in the blind taste testing? I can't remember. I watched it, but I can't remember.
I did really good. I beat a couple people. I also panicked at one point because I got really insecure because I hadn't told anybody. No one knew in the show. I didn't want Gordon to know. I didn't want it to be a crutch or it to get used against me on either front. So I kept it a secret for the entire time. But I did good. I've gotten to the point now where it's like I've developed clues of developing flavor and finding that. So it's, for example, it's like if I'm breathing in liquids, I can really tell if it's the mobility of like citrus versus vinegar by how poignant it is. Like,
This is so good because I've been holding in a fart the whole podcast.
We can still smell.
Yeah, I can smell good.
You got earphones on? I can just let them rip.
I asked my ex-girlfriend years ago about that. Because we have been on so many long drives. Like, do you ever just fart knowing that it doesn't fucking, like, it's not going to register? She just had the most guilty look on her face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I dated a girl like she lost her sense of smell, and that
How?
that probably,
He was
That's
just
the reason the
ripped.
relationship lasted so long.
it was an accident. She massaged my feet. So it was an accident. I think she hit her head or something, like on a golf cart or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard boxers. It's really common.
Yeah.
Did she get it back?
No.
Fuck,
She's not
okay.
back. Yeah.
How long?
I don't remember.
Has it been years? 'Cause for me, it's been 5.
Since we dated, it's been a long time. Yeah, but I don't remember. Yeah.
It hasn't
Yeah,
come
it's
back
like
at
more
all. Like if you walk
It
past
has
the
come back.
dog shit, you feel nothing.
I haven't smelled poop at all. I haven't smelled poop. There's a
You
list of
feel
things.
nothing.
I think
Everyone
that's
else
what I
is
was
like,
give me see that dog shit. Or, yeah, let me
Straight
smell.
up, I smell everything I can all the time. I still smell like
Sure.
fucking like underwear and stuff like that when I'm like making sure it's just things you don't get rid of.
Yeah.
But there's certain things on the list. It's really, really high intensity stuff. The first thing was gasoline, then it was cologne.
Wow.
I smelled a fire the other day, like a few months ago. So it has been getting better. I would say that it's loading at like 5 to 7% out of the
Okay.
100.
I believe that women smell better than men. Like they smell better and they smell better.
Mhm.
But
I think it's
Why do you think
genetic
that
because
is?
I'm very olfactory. My
I
whole
don't know.
family's been
My
that way.
mother would come into a house and like you'd lit a match like 6 hours earlier, being a dickhead. You're like, who's been lighting matches in here? You're like,
I-
what
I'm
the
like that though.
fuck?
I can smell like I am like a hound.
I used to be too, yeah. And I would like change scents that I was around depending on like every time I moved, I would change colognes, chapsticks, and stuff like that. So I could lock in memories and try to make it more like smell was so important to me. I would do a
Yeah.
bunch of things that tried to make it more like making my brain
Yeah.
associate with it. So it was a fucking nightmare. I almost killed myself.
But you must be able to go down on anyone. Oh, he still has taste.
Such a oh my god, that's such a funny thing because I have those conversations now where it's not like in the foreground where I'm like, oh, there's a problem. It's more like when I'm already in the act where I'm like, this is really acidic, or like this is kind of like where I have to try to piece it together. Where sometimes I'm like, I really don't
He's like,
know.
it's a mirepoix.
Mirepoix.
Okay, getting back to the questions. How can you tell a steak is done without a thermometer? Jim says you look at it, feels like different parts of your hand.
Yeah, you went into that. I like how you were like, I know the topic, but I don't know how to describe it. It's like when you touch your thumb to the each different finger
And it's
puts a
right
different
there.
level of pressure on it. So people's theory with that is that because you see how it go, like you have to touch the meat of your.
It's more
touch this part.
tender. Yeah,
Come
it's
on, over here.
rougher.
All right,
I
so
thought,
the
it was
fir-
right here though.
Yeah.
Always.
So,
Yeah.
so the
Nope,
first
it's the
one's
chunky
rare, medium.
And then nothing
well
is
done.
raw. The first finger is supposed to be rare, medium rare, blah, but it's not necessarily super accurate. It's like a building guide to blah blah blah. I would say that you want to get good at steaks, you have to cook steaks. Understand the geometry is the homework. I would say that if you want to get better at it, know what part of the cow it's coming from and what it's used for. A skirt steak, a hanger steak won't cook like a ribeye, and you can see it from just the way it's laid out. It's visible, thicker things, not as much connective tissue. It won't rest out the same. So
And
understand your geometry and touch shit.
I've watched a lot of cooking shows.
I believe
right?
it.
I watch a lot of cooking shows, and I'll tell you the way to lose a cooking show. Don't use chicken. If you have to cook for 50 people, there's always going to be one chicken that's a little bit pink, and Gordon's going to lose his fucking
Yeah.
shit. Stick to red meats. If
I don't
you're
even like
overcook-
cooking chicken.
I don't mind
Even
cooking
even
chicken.
when I know it's completely cooked through, I think psychologically I'm like,
Oh, my ex is like that.
So no
She
chicken tartare for you, huh?
Fucking loses
No.
her
How do you
I
mind.
do
feel
a beef
about
tartare
sushi?
though. I'm definitely a very psychological eater. Their textures are big for me. So some sushi, I love yellowtail and tuna and those types of things, but there are other things that just kind of I haven't tried a lot. I'm from Chicago, so I didn't grow up.
Yeah, it's
Eating
not like that was one of
sushi.
the best food cities in the world ever.
Well, but sushi wasn't a big thing, and my family didn't really
Ah.
eat that. So it's like I tried it for the first time when I was in college, and then I have it every once in a while, but not a ton.
Sushi
I don't
wasn't-
really like food that. I
Sushi
don't like
wasn't a
eating.
big thing in Australia until about the late 90s. And you think it would be, but we didn't have it till the late 90s. I remember the first time I saw, I remember seeing kids at school eating the stuff with the seaweed. But then when I saw the first inside out roll where the rice was on the outside,
Mhm.
I remember just looking at it like, How the fuck did they do that? This guy must be a genius.
It's so
Cling
opposite.
film.
It's so fucking opposite. If you think about like Eastern versus Western culture, like how you grow up as a cook, like if you grow up in Europe or even the United States versus if you grow up in Asia, it's like the way that you like salt versus soy sauce, like everything is the absolute opposite. So yeah, it's like, I always try to think too, like if I was taking Indian culture and all of a sudden I moved it to San Francisco or moved places like that, like what would it look like? Because like Japanese food to me, I'm like, you're just on a fucking island. Like, how did no one do what you guys did? There's so many fucking islands. Like, you guys just were the only people.
Yeah,
who like,
we went to Japan, best sushi ever, man.
Yeah.
It was although I will argue California sushi very good.
The place we went in Atwater is good though. More Heroes.
Yeah, no, very good sushi in California.
More Heroes. He had
He makes his own rice.
in north of San Francisco. He had his own like rice paddy field. He's like Michelin star.
sex.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to Dudley Market in Venice?
Dudley Market. No.
Yeah. It's, if you're ever in Venice, I know it's on the west side, but yeah, it's a restaurant I helped open. The owner, Connor, does like a Deba program. So he goes out and he literally catches like tuna and stuff like that, like whole tuna. And so all the fish isn't outsourced. It comes from,
All right.
yeah,
Wow.
it's fire. Definitely go.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to like a good sushi place and go with somebody who knows what I should order. I think that's the big fear, is because sushi is often very expensive. And so you're like, if you're just doing a free for all, like, oh, I'll just try that. That's
All
very
you can
likely
eat.
that.
Well, you go like when we went to the place.
Don't
in
get anything
Tokyo,
on a conveyor belt.
I forget what it's called. It starts with an O. When that chef just
Omakase.
There you go. Thank you. You don't even choose. They choose for you, and
okay.
and you don't even. We didn't even have plates. They just had like a marble bar, and there was like, you don't put sauce on anything. You just hand it to you, like you put that in your mouth. You're like, all right.
Go when
That's
you're
awesome.
ready. Don't go for the purpose of someone else guiding you through it, because your brain is so powerful. If you go into it thinking, I might not like this, your brain's going to automatically cling to those things.
That's
that you
what
didn't
I
like
tell people
before.
about doing mushrooms. I'm always like, don't be convinced to do mushrooms. Be sure that you want to do it.
Okay.
So that's the sushi recommendation.
100.
Okay.
It's
All right.
yeah. I mean, I would say that that's the same thing with anything in life. Your brain is so fucking powerful. If you don't want to do it, your mind will be like, I want to do it.
Okay, so sous chef under the main chef, was Jim correct? It looked like
Fucking nailed it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
you
that
made
was
a
the one
face.
where I was like, that's where it's a strong 3. Yeah. That, without getting too boring, that
Under
is
the
how,
main chef. Nailed it.
under
And then-
chef. Yes, it comes from it comes from the British military. I'll fight anyone on that. The French military copied the British military on the brigade system. The French kitchens, Auguste Escoffier, copied French military and brought that to kitchens, the organization. That's that.
British military. They go.
The,
And I know
copied
that,
British military to French military to
Oh,
the
got
French
it.
kitchens.
Got it.
and I know that because I know a little bit of French, and also I know that because Phoebe made a joke about it in Friends.
Okay, I think that's the main reason you know it.
Yeah.
It's true, because when Phoebe dates Monica's sous chef, and he goes, it means under chef, and she goes, oh, I'd like to be sous you.
Hey.
What is mise
Typical
en
Monica.
place?
Mise en place.
Mise en place. I'll never say it right.
Are you okay?
Mise en place. One of the terrorists in 9/11. I don't think he was right in that.
Prove me wrong. There's no way to
We're
find
about
out.
to. Yeah.
It was actually one of the tracks on the U2 album that we got for free.
I forget what it was. I was in a conversation the other day and someone was like, there's starving kids in Africa. And someone was like, name one. I'm like, fuck you.
Ralph.
Mise en place refers to mess in place. It's a kitchen term for organization. In the brigade system, when there is, 90 components on one particular station, it makes sure that you are communicating effectively culinarily. It just makes sure that there's nothing in your station that doesn't belong there. The right tool is for the right job and everything's in its right place.
And isn't it like preparing the ingredients for the dish you're about to cook as well? Or like
Yeah.
having those prepared?
Yeah, doing your mise en place. So it's like, for a full service restaurant, people think like, they're doing, they're making bread to order, like all this stuff. Like, no, a lot of this stuff is done ahead of time, pre-portioned. That way it can be called upon when it's ready. So you're not
Right.
waiting 30 minutes, you're waiting 2.
Yeah.
Chop,
I guess
chop. Oh, sorry, go.
we kind of did that. I worked in a restaurant with that. I mean, I didn't know that term, but we had everything, everything had to be organized and neat, or otherwise it was just a complete mess. Like,
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, and
And
so-
people just like think they're heroes and they can do everything. And then it's like a lot of these, like, especially now that cooking's become so popular and the other these title chasers, there's a lot of these kids that like cook really well at home, but then you put them in a kitchen and they're like, oh yeah, the way I would do this would be so much better if we did it this way. And then you put them in service and they just fucking flop because they can't make, you can talk about it in theory all day long, but if you can't make 60 of it really fucking quick, then get the fuck
Well,
out
that's
of here.
what that next level chef thing was, right? There's a lot of Instagram-y type chefs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wanted to do that show, but they wouldn't let me.
because I'm not a great, I mean, I can cook some and I cooked in a restaurant in college. And we I learned how to make different soups and like cook meats. I learned a lot, but that was the key was once the tickets started coming in, you were like, if you're not ready for that, once you get used to it, you can kind of get in this groove. But when like a new person would come in, they'd be like,
shell shock.
Yeah. They'd just be like, they should be standing around for a minute, looking around. You'd be like, all right, get the hell out of here. And you're like, it is very stressful.
I worked in a kitchen where if you did a full circle, you get kicked off the line. So if you wasted enough motion to go from one place all the way around and didn't do anything, you get kicked out.
Yeah.
Who's the top chefs in the world? Top 4, 3, 2.
I would say that Gordon Ramsay is still, in terms of like classic rock, he's one of the best chefs of all time. People
I think he's amazing chef. I love his cookbooks and all that sort of stuff, but he doesn't really cook anymore, does he? He's a
novelty now. But
it's a company. He owns all the restaurants, and he has people who oversee it. He has that jock bloke and all that type of stuff. A few different fellas.
Well, he was once almost the youngest chef to have 3 Michelin stars in the world. Boiling Points is about him losing that, but. Fuck, that's really tough. Outside of that, I really love.
I used to eat at May's like 20 years ago. That was like my big fancy dinner I'd go to when I was in London for like a birthday or something.
He's a fucking genius. I would say that he hasn't. What is modern now? It's not of pertinence to him. But I mean, outside of him, he's a god. That's how I would categorize him. Would I go there for like my anniversary dinner or something like that? Not necessarily. But people who fucking really inspire me, who blow my mind, Andy Dubrava of Rustic Canyon here in LA.
That's
Rustic Canyon.
There's a golf course named Rustic Canyon.
Yeah, I was thinking golf course. And there's a Thai place called Rustic Spoon.
I was thinking Rustic.
It's all right, Rustic Spoon.
Yeah. Where's Rustic Canyon?
Rustic Canyon is in Santa Monica. It's started by the chef named Jeremy Fox, who's just an absolute wizard. But this new guy who's taken over, he just works with food where he's like no mental stone unturned. He really just kind of like he's not settled with the mundane. He just constantly tries to reconfigure stuff.
What do you think of that cat that's called, what's his name? Jordan, and he has Vespertine.
Jordan Kahn.
Yeah, and he used to have, I used to love Red Medicine. I've never been to Vespertine, but Red Medicine was like one of my favorite places.
Then you should go to Destroyer. It's right across the street from Vespertine. It's like it's his sister restaurant to Vespertine.
Oh, okay.
And what I would call Destroyer is like Michelin star fast food. They get all like the building blocks and the Legos from that kind of stuff, and they do it in an approachable fashion.
Destroyer doesn't sound like fine dining.
It's not even like they don't even have
Red
like,
Medicine. I used to go there like once a month. You had like the cutlery just sitting in a jar just in the front, like it was like very little bread, very little pasta, or anything like that. It was all just sort of like. It was weird, and they would have desserts that were like candied carrots and stuff, and it was very good. It was all a lot of microgreens and stuff like that.
Strange.
Jordan
is
look
strange.
through the window
But his
behind you.
food's-
Someone's being arrested.
His food's good, man.
There's someone being arrested out front of the house right
For
now.
real?
Yeah.
Like actually arrested?
I mean, for what?
I just went outside and checked. Yeah.
Should we all
What
go
are they getting
outside?
arrested for?
I don't know.
Is
We
he
interview
breaking
them?
into my fucking car?
Yeah, my car's out there too.
My car's out there.
All of our cars are.
Yeah,
out
my
there.
truck is also out there.
He's not
Well,
there.
there is a guy being arrested.
Is he a minority?
Okay, just go out the door and go, Dad, come back in the house.
Is his dad the cop or the person getting arrested?
Oh, no, that's our next guest.
Yeah. All right, we have a couple more questions, then maybe we'll get out there.
Expert on Miranda rights.
What is the Maillard reaction? Same as your yard.
The Maillard reaction is so like if you think about a carrot versus like a piece of red meat, you put them into a pan. A carrot, if you put it into a pan with no oil and heat it up, it will just go from carrot to black. Even if you put even some oil in it, it still won't really get a browning effect. Maybe if you were to put some butter in it, the butter will act as that kind of browning. A Maillard reaction is where heat changes the chemical composition of sugars and fats. So that's why you cook meats and bread or anything like that has both of those things. You won't go from raw to black. You will go from raw to like a yellowish to brown to that's that browning effect. That's what creates that situation. So that's the Maillard reaction.
Okay, you were close, Jim.
The guy that owns Providence, that's good as well, right?
Providence. Oh yeah.
Providence is spot on.
Yeah. Michael Ciamarusti. Yeah. He was actually a judge on my season of Hell's Kitchen.
That's a good meal you'll have at Providence.
That's one of the best restaurants in LA for sure. Rustic Canyon.
I've driven by it, never been to it. But yeah.
It's I've been there a couple of times. It's for a long meal. It's about a $350 meal, $400 meal.
That's wow.
It takes it's like 15 courses.
That one meal we had in Hong Kong, Bow Innovation, that place.
Oh, yeah.
that was like a 4-hour meal, but that was pretty awesome.
It's hard with the baby to get out and have a 4-hour meal now.
That's why you got to wait till you travel. You know, when you come to the Bay Area, I
That was in
got to take
Hong Kong,
you.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
If when you play in the Bay Area next, I'll take you to a restaurant I've been working at called Snail Bar. Just some
I'm going up
really
there tomorrow.
serious food in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
You meant to
Fuck
be
yeah.
working for me. Why are you in the Bay Area tomorrow?
He's
When you
going
go to
to
the Bay
Canada.
Area.
We're going to Canada, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
Hey, still, but what if I ring up and go,
Duh.
Jack, there's something
It's
you
fun to
need to
work in
pick
San
up from the UPS for me?
Then you're
I'll
fucked.
drive back.
Are you driving there?
Yeah.
Oh,
What is
I'm driving there.
Do you want to lift?
You have to take my brother.
I have room.
Ooh.
What, I'm
Wait,
paying for your
what's
brother,
your
as
brother?
well? What's
What's
going
your
on?
brother's name?
Sean.
Fucking hate that name. Never mind.
All right, let's work that out after the show, guys.
Yeah.
All right, what is a roux? Last question. Flour and a little thing. You said water or oil or something.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, it's exactly that. It's a roux. Like it's debated on being a mother sauce as well. Yes, it's a fat and it is flour. Flour and fat. You can't just do it with water and achieve the same effect. It needs to physically be cooked in a fat. So when you do cook it in a fat, it allows it to thicken other things really effectively.
It's like to make a mornay or something like that, right?
Ding. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I used to make
a mornay.
I used to make a New England clam chowder. We'd have like a roux that would make. Yeah.
That's mildly unnecessary because you have potatoes in there and the potatoes will thicken it, but that, it will,
I've never been on a TV show for cooking. I just want to say that.
Not
So I'm
yet.
okay at it. All right. So here's part of our show called Dinner Party Facts. We ask our expert to give us a fact, some obscure, interesting, so our listeners can impress people. At a dinner party, a bar, wherever.
Why was the graham cracker invented? Any guesses?
Oh, we know this one.
You do?
Yeah.
Uh,
We've talked about it
I
on the
forgot
podcast
why.
before.
Wasn't it like masturbation?
Yeah, it was like because it was to make people less horny and
Yes.
masturbate less.
Big fucking exactly.
Did I go into talking about soggy sayo and all that?
Wow.
I don't
Do you
know.
know what
I
the
mean,
menu?
you can
Wait, so
now.
wait, it was
Soggy
it-
biscuit?
It was
Cookie
invented
cookie?
to stop kids from
It
masturbating.
was literally a marketing ploy to decrease sexual activity in a society where it was frowned upon to be sexually promiscuous. It was invented in Britain, I want to say. And it was because it was a snack meant to be so divisively fucking boring that you would eat it to stifle something. And I'm like, why would you, if you were in a situation of horniness, why would you attack it with boredom? That would make me want to beat
Yeah.
off more. Like,
Yeah, and also
I'm going to use the cracker.
never been horny and been like, well, I guess a snack first.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let
That'll
me
settle
snack
the
this
craving.
fucking out. Yeah.
Pornhub has an advertisement at the moment before you watch the porn. And then it goes, are you trying to masturbate, but you're all alone? Yeah, that's how I like to do it.
Yeah, it worked. That's why I have the
What do you-
website up.
Yeah, I'm just going to knock one out. Stop trying to make me feel like I'm a loser.
Why aren't you at church like
What?
usual?
Like, what business sample were they asking people? Like, how do you masturbate? And everyone was like,
The
oh,
other
in a
one-
group setting, standing up.
The
in a
other one in
clown
Pornhub
costume.
is this one, like this video game will make you come in seconds.
Oh, yeah.
You know that one?
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes, your family knows how to make you come. Not my family. Quite the opposite. If I want to stop coming, I think of them.
And then they give you the option of choosing family or not. And I'm like, you should have done that prior to saying that, I feel like. But
Yeah, your family knows how to make you come is the
I
new
wouldn't,
graham
mind,
cracker.
I wouldn't mind playing one of those porn video games. But why
they
does
don't
it-
exist.
Why doesn't someone
I've been
just
Googling like
make
crazy.
one that we all want to have a go? But it's answer questions, give a credit card, and you just like
That's what Facebook is
just
doing.
make one. I might play it. No, I got money.
Oh, you got your VR porn.
Okay, just make one.
Yeah, they had one back in the day, but I don't know anything.
Leisure Suit Larry. They
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
improved on Leisure Suit Larry.
You can fucking Sims,
He
can't you?
only fucked
Yeah.
twice,
That's right.
Leisure Suit Larry, in the whole game. And one was a hooker. One was a hooker where if he didn't wear a condom, he just died.
Right away,
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
Yo, that's educational though.
Yeah.
Cody Candelario, thank you for being here. Remember on his Instagram at Created by Cody. You can find him there. YouTube channel Created by Cody. And you can see his cooking series, The Tasteless Chef. There was something else you said you wanted to promote?
Yes. All social media. You can check me out at Created by Cody. I have a new show that I'm working on with my partner at Lolo Overland, a great off-roading company based out of Oregon. I have a new truck. I have dreams and adventures of doing outdoor stuff and doing camping and stuff like that. So with the help of my new sponsor, they are going to kit my truck out to get all beastie, and I will film the resulting adventures. It's going to be a lot of
Oh, this is
It's-
camping. No cooking.
It's cooking. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, currently the outdoor industry is dominated by all these like grill dads who like chop shit with machetes and make dumplings out of river water and stuff like that. So I want to add like, there's a chef component missing to it. You know, it's like if you're going to actually go out and do these like kind of events, like I want people to know how to cook high level stuff in these scenarios.
Okay.
So it's like if you're going to cook, like, you know, going out and camping and just cooking a couple dogs and stuff like that's cool. But like when I'm thinking of doing it, I want to go out and have like a really fun time. I want to bring people with me.
It's like on the next season of Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna get naked too. But yeah, to be able to do that, and so it's called
Like
The
Man
Food Truck.
versus Wild, but you're not eating your own piss.
Not yet. I mean, if I can make it taste good.
What's
But
it called again?
it's called The Food Truck. TheeFood truck. Yeah, it's gonna be coming out next month.
If they follow you on Instagram and YouTube and all
Follow
stuff
me on
that
Instagram
you'll
for
see.
all that. Yeah, I do pop ups
Created.
and all sorts of stuff like that. It's a pretty open roadmap, so I don't need to plug everything. Follow me.
Created
You
by
know,
Cody. Follow
created
him.
by Cody.
Now, it'd be a good cooking show. Yeah, me and my son have gotten really into those interactive shows on Netflix where you choose like the answer. Back and forth. Do a cooking show. Do you add salt?
I have a
Or,
cooking show idea for you then.
an interactive one.
Yeah.
This
That'd
could
be a
be
good one.
this could be edited out, but yeah, the cooking show that I definitely want to do at some point is do the same high level chopped kind of stuff, but then the big reveal at the end is that it's kids judging it because kids are the absolute biggest cunts when it comes to food.
Oh,
And
wait.
just get-
Whenever there's a round and they go, you have to cook for a fair and it's 57 fucking children. And there's always some cunt on the red team that goes like this. We'll make a salmon with it. What are you doing?
No, you're
Just
gonna
make the chicken
make
fingers and
chicken
fuck off.
fucking nuggets, you
Mac and
idiot.
cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make mac and cheese bites with chicken strips, and they go, I like the chicken better than the
You like quail?
the caviar covered salmon.
One thing that I'm going to add to my business is, you know, I do a lot of events. I do a lot of, you know, I want people to be able to reach the content, meaning the food that they see online. So with the event company that I'm starting, where you'll be able to come to these supper clubs and stuff like that, I'm also adding some alternative mentality companies behind that. What I mean by that is I'm starting to work with some companies that want to make products that, you know, make people feel better, available to the public, and kind of reduce a lot of the stigma. So with that, you know, I'm working with this company called Polite that is bringing, you know, they want to make people be able to feel good. They want to make people, to remind people that you're allowed to feel good and you don't have to go through, you know, like the regular pain of like whether it's depression, anxiety, or daily pain and stuff like that. So the starting product that we're coming out with is that they already have come out with is this beautiful CBD product that's super low THC and also come in options that don't have any THC in it. And we would just want to find fundamental ways to involve CBD in people's lives. And we're going to start doing it with food and stuff like that, making it more accessible and kind of trying to bring it to a light of like, you know, when you reach for Advil, when you have a headache, try to, you know, release that stigma and to show people that there's this medical benefit that's not just like, you know, the having fun portions of it, and to stay polite. So this company is really great. And if you want to order with,
Or you can have a graham cracker.
or you go fucking graham cracker. Check out Polite CBD products. Use code CBC10 to get 15% off your order.
All right.
Right on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cody, thank you for being on the podcast. If you're ever at a party and someone comes up to you and goes, "What's a roux?" Just go, "Oh, it's the youngest member of the Golden Girls."
Amen. It's a, yeah.
You didn't use
I
Blanche
say,
for
I
that
don't know
one?
about that. And walk away.
Mhm.
Good night, Australia.